Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Phoenix, Arizona. This is Covenant Pro Wrestling episode 35 of Uproar. My name is James Randall, and I am joined at the commentary booth by Carly Mars for an action-packed episode of Uproar.
And James, this is going to be an absolutely incredible episode. The go-home show before Blaze of Glory. It all culminates here for these superstars ready to have one last tune-up match before the biggest show of their lives. Starting off with Hisano versus Selena Adams.
Getting right into the action, absolutely, and this brutal feud that has been waged for many, many months is finally going to come to a head here tonight, and also continuing into the pay-per-view, and it all begins right now.
And an absolutely incredible feud that this has been, a rivalry that has led all the way to this Sunday, where it's going to be Monsters Ball, also involving Jasmine Caffey and Cammy B. Selena Adams and Hisano, safe to say no love lost between these two warriors in the ring.
Absolutely none. You see the focus on the face. You also see the eye patch that, you know, calls back to the war that has been waged, the violence that we have seen over the past few months, and now one final hurrah before it all goes to Monsters Ball. Selena Adams looking poised and focused. Hisano is going to have an uphill battle here tonight, and I cannot wait to see it.
Absolutely right. What Selena lacks in depth perception, she will make up for in aggression. And I'm sure that that right there will not hinder her at all, because she is going to use every bit of her remaining eyesight to lock eyes and lock horns with Hisano here tonight.
Absolutely tunnel vision on the victory here tonight in Phoenix, Arizona. The Covenant Pro Wrestling Coliseum is on their feet. You see them standing in attendance here, giving respect to Selena Adams, one of the toughest that we have in CPW. But speaking from experience, the woman that's gonna, join us next is nothing to scoff at either.
100%. We have seen wrestling rise from the ashes here in Covenant Pro Wrestling over the last 35 episodes of competition, some of the greatest wrestling I've ever personally seen. So it's an absolute joy to finally be on the commentary table, and especially to finally call a matchup between two professional wrestlers who I've admired for such a long time.
And I've got to ask you, Carly, you are a newbie to the commentary booth alongside me. I know you're a veteran in the craft, but I have to ask, whenever someone new joins me, who are you taking in this first contest?
I mean, it's a really tough competition. Just on paper, you see Selena Adams, someone who is a multiple-time world champion, someone who has been to the mountaintop so many times. You see Hisano, someone who maybe hasn't been around the block as long, but has been just as accomplished, if not more so, given the relativity of her career. I think in this match, give me Hisano, but this Sunday might be a little bit of a different prediction there. What about you, James?
I was going to take Hisano as well, but, I'm the contrarian here at the commentary booth. I'm going to take Selena Adams just because you took Hisano.
All right, well, I guess that we're going to have to put some betting odds on that one as Hisano gets into the ring. All business, ice water running through the veins. Can't see any expression on her face because of those sunglasses. Although the difference once that bell rings is that she's going to have both eyes to stare daggers into Selena Adams, whereas she's going to have a little more than a one-handed sword in the form of her left eye.
Absolutely. Referee Leonard Seymour is the officiant. 20 minutes on the clock. Selena Adams.
She went right in for that running ecstasy uppercut, but Hisano turns it right into a Heaven's Gate triangle choke on Selena Adams. Selena, though, with a shot to the arm, breaks the grip and then pushes away the outside leg. Hisano gets taken down, and Selena double leg into just the indiscriminate forearm clubs.
Absolutely. We're seeing the depth perception already come into play, and you see the forearm shiver there. Working on the other eye, this might be a sound strategy from someone that is a former Yakuza here.
Goodness gracious, what a side slam that was. And now, huge power bomb flips her up around, and big H trigger there by Hisano. Takes down Selena Adams, who quickly rolls back to her feet, desperately goes in, looking for possibly an octopus stretch, and turns it into a vicious Zed's Dead there from Selena Adams.
Absolutely brutal contest so far. Off the rope there.
And a nice rope spring forearm smash, and just a huge shot, haymakers down, and a standard DDT. Not quite Jake the Snake-esque, but still very textbook. Hisano runs in with the Busaiku, takes her down, does not go in for the lateral, goes instead for a kick to the leg, grabs her up on the shoulders of giants. It's my favorite move on the planet. It's the Ushigoroshi.
Oshigoroshi for sure, and now we see just pummeling blows, punches in bunches onto Selena Adams. This is not good news for the world-renowned Selena Adams. She says, don't trust anyone, but...
Risen for the cover and kicks out at 2 off of that devastating deadlift power slam there by Hisano. True power. Selena Adams, obviously not the biggest dog in the fight, but still incredibly impressive being able to pick up another human being, deadlifts into that power bomb, and the H trigger once again from Hisano. Off the
keeping
ropes,
the pressure on.
Oh, big boy senton countered with the big double knee, and runs in, takes her goddamn head off with the lariat. Not quite a casket case, but still pretty close. And the stunner, the DTA. One rope break, Leonard Seymour calling it. Very impressive referee work there by Leonard.
Absolutely. I was going to say just a moment ago, she says, don't trust Adams, hit the DTA. But can Selena Adams tonight with the, uphill battle that she's facing, blinded almost, can she trust in her own ability?
Hit the ecstasy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. That was just incredible.
Absolutely agree. A 585 from Selena Adams, and Hisano rolling out of the ring.
Selena Adams heating up through the ropes. Joshi cross body house show dive right through the middle in the third. Picks up Hisano and just a forearm sledge right to the right eye. Eye for an eye, perhaps in mind for Selena Adams. Now just the indiscriminate chops and a double leg once again. This time gonna lock in the figure 4 on the outside. A tap out will not end the match, but devastating the legs, the shins of Hisano, but she's gonna turn it around, and Selena will be forced to break or suffer tremendous damage with that reversed hold.
And I'll never understand why so many competitors in CPW want to go out to the barely padded concrete. But I guess commentators curse Hisano bringing the action back into the ring where it belongs.
And Hisano pulled in for an uppercut there. Going for a lot of different ecstasy variations is Selena Adams, but Hisano still managing to stay in this, and you have to wonder if her toughness from years learned in the Japanese Mafia is helping her. Big back roll for the run-up into the knee lift, a variation of the H trigger there from Hisano. Selena goes down hard, and Hisano's gonna pick her right back up. What does she have in mind here? Oh my God! The Shihori V2!
Yeah, absolutely, the Shiharai V2. A very tried and true maneuver by Hisano. It's brutal, it's impactful, and many women cannot kick out of it, but Selena Adams showing her toughness as a power slam brings her back to the mat. But wait a minute.
Oh, no, she's got it locked in. The arm trap, the leg hook, the Selena sunset in the center of the ring, and Hisano desperately taps. And I have to wonder if that right there was a call to save energy for this upcoming pay-per-view at Blaze of Glory. She knows that she was beat here tonight, but she also knows a lot of Selena's tricks that she is going to be looking for, as we see some fantastic replays here captured by cameramen 8, 6, and 4. And there, right there, is the Shiharai V2, but the transition, devastatingly so, into the Selena sunset, and a very quick, almost instantaneous tap out from Hisano.
And it makes me wonder if there's some damage there that we didn't know about. Is that a target for Blades of Glory?
It certainly must be. If I'm Cammy B, if I'm Jasmine Caffey, I am looking into this one, and I am going to have a lot of notes, a lot of tape to watch, even in a sub 5-minute match.
But wait a minute.
Oh my
Spinebuster.
Oh my goodness. Selena Adams caught Hisano lacking with the Spinebuster. Recaptured. Fantastic turnbuckle camera here at CPW. Really have everything as we get an action shot. Hisano now desperately taking advantage of Selena. See, that's what I'm saying. I think she might have been preserving herself because she looks no worse for wear after that Selena sunset. taking advantage of Selena's sportsmanship as Selena fights back out of the overhead position. And oh my goodness, on the other side of the arena, we have cameramen over there. I can't believe this, James.
Cameramen all over the arena. The budget is very large here in CPW. Delayed vertical suplex there on the outside, but now Hisano, just an insecurity.
Oh, and did the deal on the concrete. Cammy B trying to get back up. Jasmine Caffey. Oh my goodness, no. Trying to throw her in the trash can, but Cammy B manages to fight out of it. And a huge attack there, is not quite able to get all of it because these two are fighting on the concrete. These two are used to the spring, the give of a wrestling ring. Granted, not very much, but definitely more than a hard concrete arena floor.
Absolutely, and now we're just brought back to the action here in the Brain Buster.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to feel that tomorrow morning, and I'm not the one who just took it as they fight on that metal railing. Cammy B with a big attack there onto Jasmine Caffey.
Absolutely, that knee from Karma. Wait a minute, powerbomb position. Almost went for a pile driver, rather.
Oh, onto the handle of that sledgehammer. Why is that just laying on the ground? That seems very irresponsible.
And powerbomb directly onto the sledgy.
Oh my God. And now Selena Adams gets caught with the hit. But we're going to have to move into our next contest as Ferre takes on Hijo del Sol.
Absolutely, Hijo del Sol has been impressive, and Ferre is trying to resurface here in CPW, regain its footing, and hopefully tonight in this international matchup that signifies the start of a world tour by none other than Kenny Mitch, we're going to see which one of these two is the better man.
Absolutely right. Hijo del Sol versus Ferre, taking on two very, very different styles. Traditional lucha libre, one of my absolute favorite styles of pro wrestling, I'll have you know.
It is a good style. It's a high paced style. It's a very technical style.
And making his way out here first is Ferre. I first became aware of this man all the way back in another time, in another place, in another state. And he is impressive there, but he seems to have been a changed man. Grittier, ready to grind it out, ready to make a name for himself on this Kenny Mitch World Tour. But he's got a big matchup with Hijo del Sol that he's got to worry about first.
Absolutely. And you know, this international affair, we're leading into Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the hometown hero here, Ferre, trying to knock some of the cobwebs off and get into peak wrestling condition here tonight against one of the rising stars on Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar.
Absolutely. And you know, a lot of people have this misconception that you want some time off before a big pay-per-view event like Blaze of Glory. I could not disagree more if I tried. I think you need to get all the reps you can in that are possible. If you can get a match in the week before, hell, if you can go get an independent date the day before, you need to get that heart rate going, that adrenaline pumping. It's like a workout, but it's also like a scouting session.
Absolutely. And speaking of someone that should be scouted, Hijo del Sol making his way to the ring. The energy is immense in this arena tonight.
Absolutely, Hijo del Sol. And if I'm going to say it right now, wrestling promoters, if this man is not on your watch list, if this is not someone that you have your eyes on, you are doing it wrong and you should go out of business, because this right here, this man's the future of any juniors division.
He's got a good look. He's got a good repertoire. And now he's going to put all of it to use against someone who's got a degree in wrestling.
I didn't even know that you could go to school for that anymore, but picks him up and slams him down. Good God almighty, into a vicious neck breaker there from Ferre. And now he back up, goes for the lariat, caught up over. Bimmy to Jimmy slam there from Hijo del Sol. And now big back suplex, nip up into reverse jumping leg drop. Fantastic aerial offense there, just off the mat. Goes in, grips the wrist, and drops the knee on the arm.
That aerial offense is what you get when you have an acrobat turned professional wrestler.
You know, I do have to question one thing, though. I've seen a lot of wrestlers wear frilly armbands, frilly boots, but wearing both seems a little bit cumbersome. No, seems like a way that they would get in your face. Like, how can he really defend himself from those punches with those frills going right in front of his eyes?
You know, that is a good question, but, you know, maybe it's not all about vision for Hijo del Sol. Maybe it's more about feel. You know, everything that he did as an acrobat was a leap of faith. So I would imagine he's got some sort of sixth sense working for him right now.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about feel, talk about the feeling of that double axe handle club followed by that swift roundhouse, and now a couple double shoulder thrusts into the corner. Ferre sat down in the corner, and Hijo del Sol with a huge axe handle in kind. Certainly not as impactful as Ferre's, but definitely got the job done of getting him down. Ferre with a kick in the stomach. Punch is countered. Look at that kitchen sink from Ferre.
And Ferre's going to give you everything, including that kitchen sink. And look at that drop of the knee on the back of the head.
Absolutely right. Goes in back to that arm now of Hijo del Sol des Ferre, and now Ferre just looking to keep it going. Oh my goodness, he's got him in a triangle noose lock there on Hijo del Sol, but Hijo managing to turn it over, managing to get out of the way. Looked like he went for a leg bar there, but Ferre pushed him off, and a huge right hand. Oh no, 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 not this way. Hijo del Sol fights out of the powerbomb position. With an amazing Athlon slam.
Incredible maneuver.
Two. Kick out there from Ferre off the Atlan slam, and he is going to wisely roll to the ropes. That right there is veteran poise.
Absolutely, and I think the degree in wrestling, you know, Ferre went back to school. He tried to make a better of himself. He tried to become a new man. Going back to school to get that bachelor's in professional wrestling may have done him some good here.
Goodness gracious, huge slam on the apron, and that will break the referee's count, as well as Ferre's hand, or foot rather, did barely slip in. Karate chop. You know, I see a lot of the great Kali in a guy like Hijo del Sol as he hits another karate chop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Hijo's not one of those people that just came in and wanted to be a star. He watched the tapes. He spent a good amount of time with Dan Darnister and the trainers at the CPW Academy. He's been putting in the work, paying his dues, but right now he's paying for it in huge slams at the hands of Ferre.
A doctor bomb on the floor, release variety. You see those mats on the floor and you may think, oh, that's like landing on your mattress when you fall down. No, that mat right there, 1/4 of an inch max of hard foam. Feels like the difference between landing on the concrete or landing on the concrete with a blood-soaked towel on it, as another kitchen sink. Not quite as violent as the one before, more textbook. Big elbow drop there by Ferre, and another big elbow drop. What's he got in mind? A third one.
Hit him with the combo wombo. Let's go, baby. Ferre is showing us what it takes right now to put someone like Hijo down. DDT.
Absolutely, and Hijo takes the leg out of Ferre as he went for another one of those axe handle smashes. Fantastic ability there, and another Atlan slam. He's going to go in for that cover one more time. That's got to do it, surely. 1, 2, not quite, as Ferre kicks out.
Rolled the shoulder over, and now what's Hijo going to do? He's got something planned here. Combination.
Oh my goodness, right there, an Argentina kiss. No, 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 don't do this. Do not do this. Check from Ferre. 1, 2. Oh my goodness, Hijo del Sol, the heart of this kid.
Absolutely, but we talk about the aggression of Ferre, the grittiness of Ferre. It's definitely coming into play here tonight.
Oh my goodness, did you just see that? Shades of Noah Kakoa there with that Hawaiian drop. Fantastic variation of a traditional fireman's carry slam. And he's telling Ferre not to roll out, but Ferre did just that. Hijo del Sol, though, looking to take to the skies. Tope Suicida is evaded from Ferre. That was a hard landing right on the legs, and now clobbering him down.
This is absolutely, you know, I don't want to say a one-sided affair, but any time that Hijo del Sol has had some momentum, Ferre has had an answer.
Absolutely right. Foray just stalking around, waiting to see what is going to become of this matchup. He is just stalking Hio del Sol, almost being arrogant, and Hio's going to make him pay for it with a shoulder thrust right to the sternum. Foray takes a hard fall to the floor. Oh no, this is going to look bad. Look at the struggle into the sit-out bomb.
And we talk about that padding, that barely padded concrete. And when we say barely, that's the discount version. It might not even be a quarter of an inch thick.
Oh my goodness, slammed right into that Uproar table. You see the fans at the fan experience there getting that commentator's view while we have the best seat in the house on the perch. And now big knee drop, and I believe that is a cut on the forehead right around the eye socket of Hio del Sol.
Absolutely, that's the danger of wearing a mask in the ring. It gives more contact area for something like that to do damage.
Goodness gracious, Foray is an unhinged beast in that ring right there. I've never seen someone with such ferocity staying on them, really not caring about the textbook. Oh no, oh goodness gracious, Alabama Slammer. And now Foray in the corner. Oh my goodness, this right here does not end well for Hio del Sol running in. Big face wash to the already cut up face. You can see that blood pooling around the left eye socket. Oh no, 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 no. Up and down with the Tiger Driver.
Now that could be it.
That's gonna do it. Honestly, I think that face wash is what put Hio del Sol away. I think Foray just wanted one last move in on Hio del Sol. Right here, we see that triangle hold right there. The triangle noose applied, not quite enough. And that early in the match, the J Triller was incredible. But right here, the move that did the damage, the Tiger Driver variation. Another look at it. Cameraman 13 getting his payday here tonight.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, going into Argentina, truly in a blaze of glory here tonight. Foray is going to be one to watch.
Absolutely, and with a new era on the horizon, possibly could Foray be a future world champion in the making?
I don't know about all that, but ladies and gentlemen, this episode is sponsored by Betting Bites, Betty Bites. But now, Feast or Fire preview, a fatal four-way. Hans Passaggio taking on Samuel Adams, taking on Bruno Natoli, taking on Reaper Killer right here, right now.
This four-way matchup is going to serve as a preview for the Feast or Fired match that'll take place at Blaze of Glory. And James, would you like to explain the Feast or Fired concept to all the lovely viewers out there?
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 men are going to enter this match. And only one of them is going to walk out with a contract. All the rest of them are going to be released from CPW.
That right there is ultimate risk, ultimate reward for these men. But they are definitely up to the task. This right here serves as a scouting match, as all 4 of these men are going to be competing in just a few days at Blaze of Glory.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, the stakes could get no higher, because not only are they going to be able to retain their contracts, all these men have been on Covenant Pro Wrestling Origins. We've seen them on CPW Live. We've seen Reaper Killer be a Origins Duos champion alongside Harris, aka Evil Dead. But if any of these men want to retain that stature, that status as a member of the CPW roster, they're going to have to bring us the absolute best that they can muster.
Absolutely right. You want to talk about aura. You want to talk about a chill in the air. I mean, like, I don't think you have to look much further than this Reaper Killer that we are looking at. I felt a cold chill run up my spine as this man started walking towards the ring.
Absolutely. Reaper Killer is not one to take lightly at all by any means. He brings that lantern out, and that is supposedly the last light you will ever see, because once Reaper Killer is done with you, it's all darkness from there.
Absolutely right. An innovative, dominant force that Reaper Killer is. And I am sure that if you were to ask me who I put my money on in a death fight, a fight to the death rather, it'd be Reaper Killer. But in a Feast or Fired match, honestly, I think I'm going to take an Opportunist over Reaper Killer. And, you know, speaking of, who do you have your money on for that Feast or Fired? I know that that match has been heavily speculated on the betting websites, particularly on Bet-T-Fight.
Absolutely. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I have got to take none other than Hans Basagio. Hans is an innovative fighter. He's a no-nonsense fighter, but he's also unorthodox. He came from another industry, as we all know. And he knows how to hit hard and get hit harder. Hans Basagio's got my money.
Well, that's certainly an interesting pick. It is the wrong pick, however, because the right answer is, of course, Bruno Natoli, El Magnifico, the man.
Absolutely.
And out next for this preview to the Feast or Fired, we've got Samuel Adams. Now, I'm going to admit something to you here, James, something I'm hesitant to admit. I didn't do my research on this guy because, honestly, I saw his mask and he kind of scares me a little bit. Can you tell me about Sam Adams here?
You know, Samuel Adams is kind of an enigma to me as well. We saw him on Origins. We saw him just a few times, but he's been sort of at the wayside as all of these other stars have been bubbling up and trying to get their spot. Samuel Adams is indeed the ultimate underdog in this matchup, but he's also potentially the ultimate opportunist because we know so little about him.
Absolutely. You see that V for Vendetta mask on his face. You have to question a lot of man who chooses to conceal his identity in such a, I guess, irreverent way. You know, a symbol for sure Sam Adams is putting out into the world.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you that the Feast or Fired match will also include Colin Prince and Hijo del Sol.
Well, Hijo del Sol coming off of that loss in the last match, definitely not the kind of momentum you want to get. But Colin Prince, someone who we know has been able to take advantage of any opportunity ever been handed to him. So I think that he has a good chance of winning that as well. But I'm keeping my money on Bruno Natoli. But it is interesting to note that Samuel Adams does have the worst odds on the betting sites for those of you who choose to bet on professional wrestling, which is kind of like betting on a horse race in your mind. You can never predict what's going to happen in wrestling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The money line odds of Samuel Adams are sitting at a cool plus 900 right now. And the man who has the best odds, the negative 10,000, Bruno Natoli, is the #1 pick. But ladies and gentlemen, my pick for that matchup, the unpredictable Hans Basagio, looking to bring. Go ahead, the Vixen from Vegas, absolutely.
That's not what I was going to say. The Vixen from Viagra Falls, Hans Basagio, making his way down the aisle. This man right here is certainly something. I mean, like, God, do you want to talk about gaudy? I hope he didn't pay too much for that jacket. But this man definitely knows a thing or two about going out in a blaze of glory.
Absolutely, and I think he got that jacket from the set of the Brokeback Mountain sequel. It was called Broke That Mountain.
That was horrible, just like Hans Basagio. So I approve. As we now move into our final entrance, El Magnifico Bruno Natoli.
Well, Bruno, as always, a legacy competitor here in CPW. Of course, you know, he's from the Natoli family, the highly esteemed Italian family. Of course, Santino Natoli was his grandfather, and now he's looking to continue that legacy.
I had the privilege of watching Santana Natoli's final match take place in a ring built inside of the Roman Coliseum, which I did not know was legal, and in fact, I'm still pretty sure it wasn't, but it was an incredible match to see him go out and have an incredible matchup against another legend in Dmitry Vasilev. And I know that Bruno Natoli was very proud of his grandfather, was very proud of the Natoli line, and now he looks to continue that fantastic lineage.
Absolutely, and ladies and gentlemen, hashtag Santino. I know it is Santana, but we have a thing here in CPW that I say it wrong every time, and it's purposeful. But this guy, speaking of purpose, speaking of someone that has a goal in mind, Bruno Natoli looking to showcase why exactly he's going to be the #1 pick in Feast or Fire.
I mean, I don't see how you can bet against this guy. A winning smile, a fantastic lineage. I mean, goodness gracious, the deltoids on this man.
He is a sight to see, but a sight to see as well are all these competitors in this matchup, and I cannot wait for it to become underway in just a moment here.
Oh my goodness. As we pair off Sam Adams and Bruno Natoli, Hans Basaggio and Reaper Killer. 25 minutes on the clock. Hans Basaggio with the royal flush onto Reaper Killer and a big jumping knee lift there as well.
And ladies and gentlemen, this should be, if referee Leonard Seymour is abiding by the rules, this should be falls count anywhere elimination.
Oh my goodness, Hans Basaggio there with a payday. Right on the face. Oh, up on the shoulders. No, not this early. You absolute dingus. Oh, burning wrench. That was not a burning hammer. Didn't get anywhere near his neck. I don't even know what to call that. Big elbow drop.
It was more like the burning slammer. Went for that huge kick there. That discus kick, unable to make the mark there.
And a nice drop kick there by Bruno Natoli, but a lariat on the back end from Hans Basaggio. Reaper Killer and Sam Adams doing some damage on the outside. Huge lariat there from Sam Adams. Oh my goodness, he's got a Louisville slugger. And he is running over to Reaper Killer, but throws it down. Maybe a little bit of respect there for the contemptible Reaper Killer as Bruno is thrown back in the ring by Samuel Adams. Facebuster knee smash there by Sam Adams. Bruno gonna go back on the outside. Sam Adams hot on his heels, up on the shoulder. And a huge apron snake eyes.
And dropping him right on that apron, and that's not a fun place to be. It's the second hardest part of the ring if you factor in the fact we have those huge ring posts on the outside.
Oh, outside for a pin. Leonard Seymour runs out, and Sam Adams managed to kick out at 1. Good to see Leonard Seymour getting some cardio in. I noticed he maybe hadn't been in the best shape for Blaze of Glory season. I was hoping for a little bit better from such a seasoned referee.
Absolutely, and you see Leonard Seymour trying to keep his eyes on all the action, getting out here a little bit slow. That should have been at least a 2 count in my personal opinion, but I am not the officiant.
Oh my goodness, those shots into that vicious single underhook suplex. And you see Reaper Killer honestly has not been impressive in this matchup for such a devastating competitor. Double Russian leg sweep from the American and the Italian, and right there showing why the Italians never trusted the Americans. And now Reaper Killer looking for something big here. Has him locked in. That cloverleaf, fantastic camera work there from cameraman 19.
Absolutely, cameramen making their money tonight, trying to get those bonuses.
You guys get bonuses? I'm not even getting paid. And Bruno gets thrown outside the ring. Hans Basaggio staying on him. Sam Adams, lateral press, outside leg hook. 1 count only on the Reaper Killer.
Last time I checked, we get paid in Betty Fights, Betty Bites. But ladies and gentlemen,
oh my God, what a move there by Bruno Natoli. How's that not his finisher? I mean, I know the Magnificutter is amazing, but that was a crazy maneuver.
absolutely, you know, the technical skill to pull that off and the strength, the 2 count on the outside. Reaper Killer barely in this one. He really needs to get his poop in a group, so to speak.
I guess so, and a big fireman's carry into that side spine buster there from Bruno Natoli. Goes in for the cover once again. Sam Adams, I appreciate the constant going for covers on the Reaper Killer. I mean, like, it's an underrated strategy to just constantly go for laterals on someone because kicking out expends a ton of energy. My goodness, the drone cam really getting its use now as we see a fantastic wide-angle shot of all 4 competitors and Leonard Seymour, as well as the 3 fans in the fan experience.
Absolutely, those three fans, the best seats in the house. All the high fives and autographs going to those three lucky Covenant Pro Wrestling fans. But right now, speaking of not being so lucky,
that was a scoop slam on the stairs, James. What the hell? Oh God, Sam Adams landed knee first on the apron, and I think he might be okay, but that definitely caught me off guard. That was vicious.
and absolutely Bruno Natoli locked in to this submission hold.
Absolutely right there. And now Reaper Killer finally trying to get it back into it, but Bruno back to his feet. Oh, no. He's got a Sicilian scoop slam from Bruno Natoli. Reaper Killer could be down, out. Not even a 1 count. Granted, Leonard was a little slow, but that's still impressive from Reaper Killer. And now has him in the Killer crossface. Is Reaper Killer gonna tap? He does! Reaper Killer, the first elimination. Gut wrench suplex there from Hans Basaggio. Reaper Killer didn't even last 5 minutes. That's not good enough. I expected better from someone with the literal name Killer.
Absolutely, the irony of Reaper Killer getting taken out with a Killer crossface is not lost on me.
It's not lost on me either, and oh my goodness, knocking Bruno Natoli by putting him in the position for the Magnificutter, but then nailing him with that knee smash. Did Sam Adams just throw that table down on the face of Hans Basaggio? I mean, Hans is used to having things hit him in the face, but that seemed a little out of pocket. Vicious. God's last gift there, the small package, something that Hans Basaggio has been battling rumors of for his entire career.
Well, there's no rumors. Absolutely, the large package of Hans Basaggio being showcased here tonight. The last man standing alongside Samuel Adams here.
Samuel Adams gets caught with that running forearm smash there by Hans Basaggio. We've seen both falls take place on the outside the ring. The Riz kick from Hans Basaggio. The Riz kick takes down Sam Adams and now goes in. Looked like he might have been looking royal flush, but Sam Adams takes him down. Sam Adams with the punches, lots of them. Oh my God, what a stiff right that was. And runs in for the Forsaken Reality. 1, 2, kick out by Hans.
And you know, the rules of this matchup, Carly, they're all due to the fact that the fans thought these matches were going on a little too long. They thought it should all be elimination because people kept breaking up pinfalls and there was not too much action going on other than pinfalls that were getting interrupted. So now, action in spades here off the top.
That frog splash to the back almost got him. That was an incredible maneuver by Sam Adams and very opportunistic as well. Fantastically done, staying on Hans Basaggio, stomping on his right hand there. Hans gets back to his feet though, grabs Sam Adams up. Oh my goodness, go behind, roll through, nip up. Pele from Hans Basaggio, and he rolls to the outside as Sam Adams in hot pursuit. Oh, no. Those are legal here? Oh, my God.
Absolutely, giving him a little bit of the full frontal, so to speak.
Oh, my God. Gave him a facial with that chair. Holy hell. Oh, my God. God. Oh, my. I'm rarely at a loss for words, but 2 chair shots right to the top of the head. God.
Hans Basaggio in a bad way here.
Oh, and nails him with the chain breaker on the floor. 1, 2. Hans kicks out. I mean, like, I know that Hans Basaggio has a lot of opinions on head, but I didn't think that would result in him using a steel chair.
Absolutely, but, you know, never mind that because Hans Basaggio has the stamina to go the distance, but can he withstand this here, that fist drop? Wouldn't be the first time he was fisted. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's uncouth right there, James. Ow. God, that was to the crown of the head. As now Hans Basaggio picks up that sledgehammer, Juji Katoki there, and the punches. Oh, and the Yurakin sends him double into the barrier. You see Couple of fans maybe getting a little handsy there with Hans, and slammed right into the barrier again, and right to the elbow as well. God, this is, I've never seen someone so malicious with a sledgehammer attacking joints with it. That's brutal.
And now just showcasing, just gloating everything that he has done. But I do agree with you. I do agree.
Oh my God, his knee. Is that like 8 shots to the right knee from Jesus?
This is all just a little too much here.
Is there some bad blood between these two that I was not privy to? I mean, God. Don't go back for it.
And just begging for Hans to get out.
Leonard, call this thing, dude. What the hell? And goes in with the right knee attack, maybe risking his own physical safety to deal some damage there, and a corkscrew kick to the back as well. Oh my goodness, running wrist kick there from Hans Passaggio. Goodness gracious, Hans staying all on him. 10 minutes have elapsed in this thing, and 10 years could have been taken off of their careers as Hans stays in. You're rocking there to Samuel Adams. And now on the barricade, excuse me, James, I have to ask, I mean, like, is Leonard Seymour going to step in and stop this? I mean, these two could be risking giving us a championship, or not a championship, feast or fired match, excuse me.
I mean, I would hope that Leonard would, get his stuff in gear pretty soon, but he's also heard the criticism from the fans, ending matches too early, calling rope breaks when fans thought the rope break should be thrown out the window. So I think he's trying to give the people what they want, but at the same time, you got to protect the competitors in the match.
You saw Hans kind of struggle to regain his footing there after dropping the right knee. That's right there is what's so difficult for professional wrestlers. You get in the habit of using one particular type of offense, and then no matter what happens to it, it's hard to readjust that game plan. A single shot with the Singapore cane there, Sam Adams sent reeling. Oh my God. Did he really have to get another chair? I mean, you saw the damage the Sam Adams cranium did to this. No. Stop! Oh.
Chills down the spine.
I think I felt that one in my teeth. Oh. And Sam Adams desperately trying to take Hans Passaggio down. James, I mean, like, at this point, is a wrist kick even going to put him away?
That is unknown and unclear, but ladies and gentlemen, a 1, a 2, and only 2.
Oh my God, the wrist kick doesn't do it. The headshot doesn't do it. Maybe he can use some of this Singapore cane bamboo stick to do it. And oh my God. Goodness gracious, Sam Adams. And I mean, I think a wrestling match is broken out in this brawl, James.
Absolutely. You see both competitors shifting gears.
I swear to God, Hans, please don't. Why? Stop hitting him in the face. Stop it.
I hate to laugh, but I laugh when I am uncomfortable. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an uncomfortable sight. Hide your kids, hide your wife, put them all to bed, because this is a massacre.
Goodness gracious, and it's not even one-sided either. This right here is 2 men who want each other to die. And did you see that Sam Adams went for that forsaken reality, but got caught in the royal flush? Maybe a final last gasp from Hans. 1, 2. Oh my God, Sam Adams gets the shoulder up. That right there could have went either way. Going back to the Singapore cane now. Oh God. Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, Sam Adams manages to disable him and manages to hit the forsaken reality, but Hans stayed standing. Hans is on dizzy feet. He's on jelly legs, slams that kendo stick into the back, and now goes in for the cover. 1, 2, 3. What a finish, Sam Adams.
Unbelievable. That final shot was all it took. Just that little nudge with that, Sycamore cane there.
Oh my goodness gracious. Looks like some non-chronological highlights here from our production team. There was the average package driver on the floor, but Sam Adams gets the pin. Very interesting that we had 3 eliminations from 3 different men. Reaper Killer, the only person who went 0-1.
Absolutely, and Sam Adams going from a mystery to someone we got to keep an eye on.
And oh my goodness, keeping in mind, keeping an eye on someone, we have got Lauren making her way down the aisle. What do you think that she's got in mind here? As far as I know, she wasn't scheduled for a matchup.
You know, Lauren Osborne has been having some difficulties with her longtime friend, now turned enemy, Emma Barkley. And, you know, I guess what I'm being told in my headset here, and you're hearing the same information as I am, is that Lauren is going to address the crowd and the claims that Emma has made that everything that has happened between those two has been Lauren's fault.
Well, I mean, Lauren Osborne, definitely someone who the fans have a lot of goodwill for. So it's going to be interesting to see how they react to her information on these allegations.
Absolutely. I don't know where she's going to come from here. I don't know if she's going to try to put an end to this, but...
As the final moments of my contract with CPW slip away, the clock ticking down to the midnight of Blaze of Glory, I find myself on a poignant mission to confront the monstrous creation that emerged from my own actions and bring an end to this chaotic madness. This mission is my redemption, a journey to quell the chaos I've ignited. Reflecting on the dreams Emma and I once shared, envisioning ourselves as fierce competitors in the CPW ring, memories flood my mind. We vowed to each other, swearing no matter what, we'd remain true to ourselves. Yet, amidst the whirlwind of fame and success, I allowed hubris to consume me. Emma perceived my actions as mind games, manipulation, a force pushing her to become someone she's not. For that, I am genuinely sorry. Emma, I know you're listening, and I need you to grasp that this isn't personal. It's about honoring our promises, preserving our truth. When the clock strikes midnight, I'll be in that ring, ready to face the monstrous version of you that has emerged. There will be no holding back, no mercy shown. I'll do whatever it takes to resurrect the Emma I cherished. If that means taking you down, so be it. My debt is to myself, to you, and to CPW, to bring a decisive end to this nightmare you've become. Brace yourself, Emma. Come Blaze of Glory, the once fiery connection between us will burn brighter than ever. It's not about victory or defeat. It's about saving you from yourself and staying true to the values we swore to uphold. The time of words has come and gone. The time for action is near. Mark my words, Emma. At Blaze of Glory, I will kill the monstrous entity that has taken root within you.
Well, owning up to some of the things that Emma Barkley had said, but now we are moving on in the action. I cannot believe going from one potential barn burner of a women's matchup going into this one, this prep match for Reina Curie, you know, given to her by May Patak to get her ready for women's championship opportunity.
I mean, definitely an interesting matchup to come across. May Patak, not exactly the kind of opponent that I would want to have if I was Reina Curie, if I'm being prepared for Belle Florent. I mean, take nothing away from Mai Patak, but they don't exactly have that much in common. You're going from a rather traditional professional wrestler into a world title match against a world-class MMA fighter.
Absolutely. I don't really see how it coincides, but ladies and gentlemen, we'll live with it nonetheless, and we'll have an absolutely amazing matchup while we're at it.
Now, Reina Curie, another person who I unfortunately have never had the pleasure of calling a matchup, but I'm excited to do so. She certainly has gained some waves around the wrestling landscape. I mean, I watch hundreds of hours of wrestling a week. Sometimes I watch 4 or 5 matches at a time while doing commentary, and I've still heard the name slip through the cracks up the grapevine. So clearly, Reina Curie is definitely someone that is a big future potential wrestling superstar.
Absolutely, Reina Curie is the final reigning Desert Rose champion on CPW Origins, and unfortunately, with the dissolution of that brand, she had to let go and relinquish that title. Now she is getting the opportunity to go head-to-head with the CPW Women's Champion and ascending to her rightful spot here on the roster.
And Reina Curie now awaits the entrance of Mai Patak.
Absolutely, May Patak, the phantasmal one. We saw them go over an hour and a Hell in the Cell match on Origins. A match that was so brutal, so violent, so long, so just everything that you could think of, that it broke the stream, broke the live stream, ruined the network's interfaces to pick up our stream, and we had to work on the fly, send that over UHF signals just so people could see it.
Goodness gracious, clearly they didn't get the memo about pay-per-view runtime. All they cared about was devastation and destruction. Mai Patak making their way down the ring now, and I mean, there's a vibe coming off of this person. I mean, it says a lot, someone who's willingly going to step into a ring not wearing wrestling boots, not even wearing sneakers, hell, not even wearing flip-flops, barefoot.
Only a select few are able to accomplish that, but Mai Patak is guided, is welcomed, is basically looked upon by all the spirits of the Netherrealm. She communes with these spirits. She honors them in any way that she can, and in favor of that, in exchange for that, she is protected.
I mean, like, not for nothing, but CPW really needs to get its hand on a priest. Between Mai Patak, Reaper Killer, I mean, goodness gracious, all the souls of the fans, is that part of the ticket admission? Do you get a discount off if you offer your soul to one of these demon gods?
Well, if you're one of the Clarks, I guess you want the soul either way. But before I get fired, let me backtrack. They're great people, and I love getting paid.
Well, I'm not getting paid. I've been told that my payment was actually in the form of an Alex Clark NFT, so.
That's a pretty rare NFT. That's actually a legendary NFT, they'll tell you.
Really? Well, I certainly feel gypped. As now, oh my goodness! Reina Curie runs in with a fantastic running Frankensteiner and goes right in for the leg. You see already the disadvantage of wrestling without boots. No traction there to stop a trip up, and goes right back into that left leg with a DDT. Oh my God, that's 15 times as devastating without wrestling boots on. I think that's the first time I've seen that move be effective in my entire career.
Well, you know what? You can break a toe that way. And Reina Curie absolutely knows it, so utilizing that maneuver with, the exposed toes, a good idea from me, or a good idea in my opinion.
And now Reina Curie floats through into a vicious tilt-a-whirl, and now locking in a fantastic Fujiwara armbar forward roll there from Mai Patak. And not to mention, not only is Mai Patak not wearing shoes, they are also wearing a dress, something with no demarcation at all. So there is very little mobility in that thing.
What you lose in mobility, you gain and I guess a little bit of mystery. You don't know exactly where to grab the opponent if she's wearing such a flowy attire.
Oh my goodness, single helix was missed there by Mai Patak, and a double drop kick to the back. 2 times sends Mai Patak into the corner. She has been on the back foot for this entire thing. On the top rope, May is put in the hell. I don't know where this is going, James.
Nor do I, but the only thing I can think that makes sense about this matchup is the history that these two women have, and the fact that there are both.
No.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God! And she's getting back to her feet, clearly unaffected. All the souls, maybe one of them died. Rope step tope con gira there from Reina Curie. Oh my God, if a poison Rana off the top and a rope step tope con gira don't keep Mai Patak down, what even will at this point slow it down?
No idea. She's a devastating competitor here in CPW. She knocked out Hisano in a Yakuza steel cage match with an arm drag.
I mean, what?
It just doesn't make any kind of sense. These souls, these spirits, they have to have some kind of invigorating or reinforcing, bolstering effect on the offense of Mai Patak.
I don't know what kind of infrastructure would be needed for this, but I think those souls need to get tested for PEDs, as now Reina takes a big DDT on the floor and a running shooter as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching here at home, I want to remind you, sorry to cut you off, Mars. I want to remind everyone to subscribe for more CPW because we ain't going nowhere, baby.
Absolutely right. The fastest rising eFed in wrestling today. Your favorite eFed's favorite eFed, as now Reina gets back in the ring, breaks the count of Leonard Seymour, but May runs in and throws right into the barrier. Oh my goodness, Bamaye from May Patak. Bamaye May, perhaps.
And the offensive repertoire of May Patak is very odd. You know, she came in not trained classically in professional wrestling. She never went to a wrestling school. She simply walked in off the streets and decided that this is what I'm going to do to avenge the souls that protect me.
Oh my goodness, Frankensteiner there from Reina Curie. And now just the kick and the chops in. Oh, it gave her the clap as well. I thought that would have been more of Hans Basaggio's stick in a previous matchup, but now Reina gets back in once again to break the count.
Well, you know, anything can happen here in Phoenix, Arizona, as evidenced by these two women just breaking it all down for us here. In these amazing camera angles. Thank you to all the cameramen.
Oh my goodness, a choke toss there by Mai Patak, incredibly done, and a shining elbow as well from May Patak, and now going to throw Reina back into the ring. Leonard Seymour really wants May to get back in the ring. Diving elbow drop, not quite Macho Man-esque. Goes in for the lateral, hooks the outside leg. One kick out.
What the hell? A kick out at one after all the punishment that has been seen in this matchup. That is unheard of.
May Patak seemed like some hesitation there. Maybe lack of experience causing that one. Running in back elbow though. Snapmare up on the middle rope and a vicious European uppercut. Maybe one of those souls hails from the European Union.
I mean, maybe that pause in the midst of the match was just her getting some guidance from whoever is, you know, in her corner here tonight, so to speak.
Oh my goodness, nice neck snap there by May Patak. Goes in for the lateral, Leonard Seymour on the count for only a one. Reina Curie once again kicking out at one.
You know, Reina Curie has a lot to prove here. She was the last person standing in that tournament to decide the #1 contender, but she also only had one match in that tournament.
It says Reina Screwdriver, two kick out. And goodness gracious, that was vicious. Another drop on the neck from May Patak, and once again they seem like they're getting to their feet, so clearly these souls doing something to invigorate. Another rope step tope con Gira there from Reina. A hard landing as May Patak once again gets to their feet. My God, what can you do to keep this person down?
And that's something that we were asking, you know, just a few weeks ago on CPW Live. We just couldn't seem to keep her on her back and off of her feet.
And May Patak now being hooked up for a DDT on the floor from Reina Curie. Reina looking for something here as she grabs May and just goes in for the punches. Goodness gracious.
And that'll scramble an egg for sure. I don't know what May Patak is made out of, but it's certainly going to be mush by the time this matchup is done.
And Mayo Rana countered there and went in for a hip attack, but Reina going to get back in the ring, and May going to be encouraged by Leonard Seymour to do the same. Gets back in, but Reina captures on that one, and a huge backbreaker into side forearm.
Pinfall here, two.
That would have been a less than climactic way for it to end, but Reina certainly wants to try and preserve herself. She would have taken it any way she can get by hook, crook, or misalignment, and a nice shot there from May. Oh my goodness, grabbing her. I would not expect a traditional wrist lock into an overhead slam from someone with no wrestling experience.
Absolutely, and then that is the arm of Kwaithanu. That arm wrench suplex that took out Hisano, knocked her out. Can you believe it?
I mean, at this point, I might be able to, and it looks like I'm going to have another chance to do the same. Arm of Kwaithanu goes in for the cover, surely. 1, 2, and Reina kicks out. And now May hitting her biggest maneuver, the maneuver that knocked out a Yakuza killer two times in a row, and another choke toss there. At this point, what do you do? I mean, like, Reina clearly fueled by something more than just souls. Like May is, a big choke slam there. May clearly has a lot of power behind her for someone of such unimpressive stature, and right there, getting thrown away with that Uncle Bill Beal, excuse me.
No worries, but you talk about what these two competitors have left, and I have to wonder, we talk about what they're fueled by. How much is left in the tank of Reina Curie? We know that we have an infinite amount of souls on the part of May Patak, but how much longer can Reina go?
And Reina trying to maybe mess with the mortal coil of May Patak, and now, oh my goodness, off the ropes and a face wash. We saw that be a very effective move earlier in the night by Ferre in that very corner, so clearly a very popular, devastating strike, but May Patak still trying to get to her feet, and a huge Giri there from Reina Curie, and a double knee face breaker as well. Oh no, I think I know what she's going for. James, Gamma implosion off the top, lateral, 1, 2.
What the hell?
Leonard Seymour needs to get his head checked. You think some of those souls are preventing him from bringing his hand down as fast as it needs to? Oh no, she's looking for it. Bamba! 1, 2, 3. Reina Curie gets the win when she needed it most. Reina Curie pulls out a win, but how much damage was done in that matchup? Right here we see the Reina screwdriver. And right here we see the ending effects of the arm of Kwaithanu. Right there, the Gamma implosion, followed by the Sar Bomba. Fantastic follow through from Reina Curie.
Absolutely, and she's looking to be prepared to take on the CPW Women's Champion come Blaze of Glory, and I cannot wait to see it.
And now Reina Curie gonna soak in the spoils, but she can't afford to rest on her laurels, as she is gonna have to face off against Belle Florent in just a little while.
Yeah, we are only 2 weeks away from the biggest matchup of her entire life, but wait a minute.
Goodness gracious, a belt shot from Belle Florent and a forearm to the top of the head. Belle Florent trying to stomp on her own championship, it looked like there. Leonard Seymour taking it out of the equation, and Belle just all in. Crowd in a stunned silence.
They cannot even believe what's happening here, and neither can I.
Jesus. She's gonna break her hand if she keeps punching her in the face like that. My God.
It seems as though she's done what she came to do, but wait a minute.
Get up.
May Patak. Oh my goodness.
She has lost her way, though she does not believe herself to be lost.
Still trying to mentor here.
Emotions at bay, she has now let herself be controlled by them. So much time she spent on each extreme. She is in danger of being pulled apart by them. She fears everyone, but the true source of her destruction, Belle Florent. Do not let it overpower your sense of self. lest you end up a charred husk of what you once ascribed to be. Do not just show strength, but the wisdom in how to wield it properly. Show that you are not just deserving of glory, but that you are worthy of it. Prove that the fire can not only burn brightly, but can be tempered with discipline. Fight with all you have, but do not forget your true enemy, Reina Curie.
What?
Well, clearing the ring out fairly quickly. And now for this episode of Kenny's Corner Mape Attack, the ever mysterious, phantasmal one, a prep match and a pep talk for Reina Curie.
And now, time for Kenny's Corner, and I'm sure that the one Kenny Mitch fan in the audience is going to be very happy to see his interview, a very timely interview from what I've been told.
That's what I've been told as well. We have no idea who his guest is, but the one Kenny Mitch fan in the arena happens to be Kenny Mitch himself.
I mean, I personally saw someone wearing a Kenny Mitch is my favorite wrestler shirt and also holding $20, so I don't know.
That's the money that Kenny Mitch paid that fan to say that.
That's conjecture. That's alleged.
Well, allegedly, Kenny Mitch is going to have the biggest guest and the most timely guest of all time here in CPW here on Kenny's Corner, and I can't wait to see it. But judging by the budget of Kenny Mitch, don't get too excited.
I mean, Kenny Mitch, definitely a man who has a certain je ne sais quoi to him, as they say in Spain, I'm pretty sure.
Well, wherever they say it, I'm sure they don't say it about Kenny Mitch, but I digress. We're going to be witnessing this train wreck of an experience that we call Kenny's Corner here on CPW Uproar. And hopefully this pays the bill.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Kenny's Corner, the most must-see talk show in professional wrestling history. Today we have an incredible guest for all you loyal fans in the front row. This man has traveled all across the world, every single year, and in record time.
Who could that be?
Besides our guest, I want to talk to you about my match at Blaze of Glory, the hometown hero, Ferre. This guy is so useless and incompetent it surprises me. I imagine he listens to Tyler the Creator like the mindless fools that his fans are. Ferre, we teamed up on CPW Live, pulled the whole "can they coexist?" and we found out that we can't coexist. Not due to me, but due to your sheer stupidity and lack of any talent. You couldn't even break out of Darnister's submission. Darnister can't even eat cucumbers unless they're pickled. You honestly hurt my brain with your idiocy. You got a degree in wrestling. That makes absolutely zero sense. And then you brush off the fact that you're a former Yakuza. You killed people, man. Why do you even have a job here? Anyway, rant over. It's time for our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Ladies and gentlemen, jolly old Saint Nick.
What? Come on, man. First of all, Kenny Mitch clearly could never write anything quite as good as Wolf by Tyler the Creator, but also I agree with him on the prospect of getting a degree in wrestling. I don't understand the optics of that. Also, this isn't Santa Claus. I seen him standing in the back. He doesn't have a beard that big.
Absolutely not. This guy, they got him from catering. I don't know what the hell this is, but Santa is here, quote unquote.
I mean, like, come on. This guy, is this Kenny Mitch's granddad?
It's probably someone that hangs out at the bus station his family owns. I have no idea.
I mean, like, why did we have music queued up for this guy?
Blame Kenny Mitch. Anything bad that happens in CPW, if I screw up on commentary, if you stub your toe, blame Kenny Mitch, because Kenny Mitch is at fault for everything bad that happens. I guarantee you, this year, he's going to get coal. Next year, he's going to get coal. The year after, he's going to get coal, because Kenny Mitch freaking sucks.
Wasn't Christmas like 2 months ago or something?
Well, Kenny doesn't know that. He can't math.
Does Kenny know anything?
How to be annoying, perhaps.
Valid.
Thank you, Kenny, my boy. The clossometer had stopped.
The what?
Seemed like the Christmas spirit was at an all-time low.
It's
But
January,
thanks
dude.
to you, Kenny Mitch saved Christmas. And for that, I can't give you anything but my Hughes gratitude.
Give him like, yeah, kill him. Kick his ass. Kick his ass.
Santa ain't here to play.
Oh
Now
my
take-
yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's got something in his chimney.
There ain't no cinnamon in that, baby.
Oh my God. Saint Dick nails the stink face.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
I take
And
it
the-
back. I love professional wrestling.
And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of a love for professional wrestling, we have the Kingsmen, Doc Wrestling Jr. and Johnny Gemini in a 2-on-1 contest against Justice Payne. Of course, this came about after Justice Payne and Jay Turner attacked Johnny Gemini when Doc Wrestling Jr. was out injured, but now they get the just desserts. I still can't get over Saint Nick giving the stink face here.
I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit annoyed that these so-called Kingsmen get to present themselves to the world as these good guys when they're over here with an unfair advantage on a man just trying to make a name for himself in Justice Payne. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, such is life. Justice Payne making his way to the ring. Got the discount Black Sabbath soundtrack ringing him into the ring here.
This right here is Brown Sabbath as Justice Payne makes his way into the ring. And I mean, I like this guy. I know that you have a vendetta against this guy just because you thought he was Nick Gage's brother when he got signed. But Justice Payne, good wrestler.
Good wrestler, former tag team champion on Origins. Now has an opportunity at Blaze of Glory to regain CPW gold. But he's got to get through these two men before we can do that.
They make their way out here. You know, I'll have you know that I saw Dr. Wrestling Jr. trying to print off a PhD off of Google Images earlier today. And I saw Johnny Gemini without his shoes on. He's only 5'2".
Well, Johnny Gemini, Doc Wrestling Jr., they can be a lot of things. Call them what you want, but you gotta call them right now is the CPW Tag Team Champions.
I don't have to call them anything. I'm certainly not calling Dr. Wrestling Jr. when I don't even believe that he knows what a doctorate is.
Well, we'll have to see just how far the doctor can take his orders here tonight against a singular man. And, you know, if I am a betting man, like on Betty's Bet, so to speak, then I imagine it's going to be quite the distance.
And it's 2-on-1, not even having to tag. I mean, at this point, like, Heel Good Inc. needs to try and convince me that they're not these bad guys.
Well, you know, while Doc Wrestling Jr. was at home wrestling the family jewels, Jay Turner and Justice Payne took advantage, and now turnabout is fair play. Wait a minute, Poison Rana.
Is it really possible to do a meeting of the minds on two brainless fools? I guess Justice Payne trying to find out that Poison Rana was very nice by Malpractice Wrestling Jr. As now Johnny Gemini heads to the apron. I mean, is he going to play fair? I didn't think so. These two, God, why do fans like these two? This, honestly, I'm disgusted that the Clarks even allow this just because of nepotism.
Absolutely. You know, I agree in that aspect. You know, we needed to flesh out the tag team division, but this may be a little bit too far. However, I get paid to say the opposite, so the opposite.
Truly, your lack of dignity depresses me, James. I came into this very impressed by what I'd seen, but the fact that you will not sit here and agree with me that this is ridiculous, that this is literal wrestling malpractice, I've lost all the respect I barely had for you. And a meeting of the minds, 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place on that one.
Absolutely, 2 brain cells, and one's giving CPR to the other.
Discus and gravy punch there by Justice Payne. Thrown to the outside.
I didn't say I didn't agree. I said I get paid to disagree.
Well, that's interesting. So your morals can be bought.
I'm just trying to live.
Well, I disagree. I think that Justice Payne is really the hero of this story, and Dr. Wrestling Jr. and Johnny Gemini are truly some of the most despicable men I've ever seen. Especially Dr. Wrestling Jr. I mean, malpractice is illegal, isn't it?
Absolutely, you're printing out a PhD online, but, you know, justice is in the name, so maybe tonight Justice Payne can inflict his namesake here the pain on these 2 that are doing their nefarious deeds against him.
I heard that Dr. Wrestling Jr. got his doctorate from Hamburger University as Johnny Gemini goes in for a pinfall. It's falls count anywhere, too. I mean, can the Clarks stack the deck against this guy anymore?
Well, that remains to be seen. We're only, you know, a few minutes into this matchup, and Justice Payne is not doing well. Of course, Jay Turner is banned from ringside, and if Jay Turner shows his face, they do indeed lose their tag team title shot. Innovative offense, son of a bitch!
You know, maybe I was wrong about these guys. Maybe I was wrong. Justice Payne kicks out at 1, and actually I've decided once again that I was right about them. And now, oh, big knee lift there, an apple a day from Dr. Wrestling Jr., General Anesthesia, rather.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, doctor or not, I want to see the thesis on that tag team offense, because that was incredible.
I mean, if at the end of this matchup, the cameramen don't get a replay on that one, then I'm going to take back every good thing I've ever said about them. Big knee lift there, and now the punches. Shot down, Johnny Gemini down as Wrestling Jr. I refuse to call him Doctor. Stays on the outside with a whipper stunner. And now Dr. Wrestling Jr. allegedly getting taken down by Justice Payne. Kick and a big knee lift. Johnny Gemini back on the outside. The German from the American. And now Johnny Gemini picking up Justice Payne. Dr. Wrestling Jr. getting on the other side of the ring. Big toss into the steps there from Johnny Gemini. 2 kick out from Justice Payne.
And say what you want about Justice Payne, but the fact that he has lasted, you know, this long in this matchup that was supposed to be such a one-sided affair says a lot about his ability to withstand damage.
It absolutely does. Justice Payne back in the ring now. Johnny Gemini in and Wrestling Jr. on the outside. Hot dog and grandstanding. Jumping knee there from Justice Payne up on the shoulders. And a huge nerve damage there from Justice Payne. But Johnny Gemini, is he going to break it up? No, he's going to make Wrestling Jr. kick out on his own and catch him with the drop kick. That was interesting strategy there from Heel Good Inc. Big back fist there from Johnny Gemini.
With the rope break.
You know what, Leonard Seymour, that was a good call. You don't make many of those, buddy, but that was a good call. Now attacking the leg, could be looking to set up for that heel hook later in the contest. Definitely wouldn't be a bad decision as he tries to drag Justice Payne to center ring.
Now what are they going to do? Maybe more of this tag team offense perhaps, but no. Shoulder block. Doc going up top.
Dr. Wrestling Jr., he's pointing at Leonard Seymour. I don't like this.
He's like, watch this, Leonard.
Oh my, that seemed like, that seemed unnecessary. That seemed like a much bigger fall for Dr. Wrestling Jr., I'm not gonna lie. But I guess when you're at an advantage already, it doesn't matter what you do. Justice Payne is never gonna get that advantage. He did get the kick out at 2, though.
Well, whether he's a doctor or not, it seems as though Doc Wrestling Jr. does have health insurance, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be pulling shit like that.
Well, I mean, that makes him 1 of 1 in wrestling, and oh my goodness, a suplex on the stairs. You can't afford to be grandstanding right now, Justice Payne. I'm the one guy in your corner right now since your tag team partner's been banned, and you're pulling stuff like that. That's not very smart. Johnny Gemini throwing Justice into the ropes. Oh, meeting of the minds. And Wrestling Jr. And this is what I'm talking about right here. This is ridiculous. And now, right there, Dr. Wrestling Jr. isn't even doing anything. Maybe he's a doctor of, I don't know, like, can you get a doctorate in, like being a bitch?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of getting bitched, hold on, wait a minute, nearly.
The Painmaker there. Off the Painmaker, couldn't quite get it. Off the top, oh, Dr. Wrestling Jr. trying to emulate the splash. It looks like he's in Justice Payne's corner now. Indiscriminate stomps to the chest. And now Wrestling Jr. with the punches and the kicks and the DDT and a nip up. I hate that this guy's actually a little bit acrobatically impressive. Oh my God, that was a kick right into the gonads. Knee lift there from Justice Payne. Throwing him right outside the ring. Stay on Johnny Gemini, please. Oh my God, you know what? The longer this thing goes on, I think I might be switching sides. Because this guy clearly has no love for the game. All he cares about is losing, clearly.
I mean, he's trying to prove that he doesn't have to go for the easy pickings, and I understand what the motivation is, but sometimes you got to go for the easy win when you're in a 2-on-1 contest.
I mean, like, don't let your pride get in the way of anything. Going for the Justice Driver, but Wrestling Jr. running it. Okay, that was kind of cool. Big pop-up Rana there from Dr. Wrestling Jr.
What's he gonna do here? Wait a minute, never mind.
Johnny Gemini gonna look out of the way. Oh my goodness, went for the twist around the world. Justice Payne, again, hot dogging and grandstanding. I'm getting sick of this. I'm trying to root for the guy, but like, you haven't won anything yet. You've barely been on offense and you're celebrating. Dr. Wrestling Jr. went for the Joshi crossbody, not quite enough. High facing Justice Payne.
Absolutely, those open hand strikes just pummeling him. You hear his mud hole stomps, man.
That was an incredible tag team move right there. Irish whip into punch, into pile driver. Maybe this team isn't so bad. On the floor, no less. Didn't quite get it.
And that's the disadvantage, I think, that Justice Payne has, not just in this match, but even as a tag team competitor alongside Jay Turner. These two have been together for so long. They know each other inside out. You know, Justice Payne and Jay Turner, they became a team, a ragtag pairing on Origins out of a random booking decision by some idiot that probably doesn't know what he's doing. But speaking of some idiot that doesn't know what he's doing, Doc Wrestling Jr. colliding with a barely padded
Oh my goodness, Painmaker foolishly goes in for the cover. Johnny Gemini is a horrible tag team partner. I'm just going to say it. That's 2 times now that Dr. Wrestling Jr. could have been in a position to lose, and he didn't even break it up. Maybe call it confidence, but I mean, if he would have lost, that would have left him with some egg on his face.
Absolutely.
And now Johnny Gemini just trying to, I think he forgot that there's no countouts in this thing because it keeps rolling in and out, maybe just getting some reps in, making sure that the apron's on the ring well enough. And Justice Payne down, but clearly not out quite yet. Over half the match time has elapsed. Johnny Gemini, he's yelling at someone. I don't know. This guy's weird. I mean, like, he only wears one knee pad, and on his other knee he has like some paint or something. I don't know. Also, who wrestles with sunglasses on? I hate this team.
Well, we're gonna have to witness something pretty soon. And what the hell was that?
Oh my God. Johnny Gemini going in for the save. Jesus. Oh my God, please.
DWJ pulling the mat side L, but wait a minute.
Oh God, Dr. Wrestling Jr. Oh God, huh? What?
Well, getting the victory, finally. the Kingsman.
I'd pay a lot of money to see that again, but I think the cameramen know better than that. Heel Good Inc. get the win. I refuse to call them the Kingsmen because I honor no monarchy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like them or you hate them, they're going into Blaze of Glory with the momentum here.
And I would like it to be known that I hate them. And next up, we have got Dan Darnester.
Dan Darnester with our Heritage Championship. He's going to have a few words to say alongside Mr. Translator about his opponent at Blaze of Glory, or his supposed opponent. I'm hearing it in my headphones. It's not confirmed yet.
Dan Darnester, I mean, like, I have known about Dan Darnester. I've been cursed with the knowledge of Dan Darnester for a long time, James. And I have to tell you right now, words cannot explain how much I hate this guy. I hate this guy more than an albino hates the sun.
Well, that seems like an awful lot, and I've got to ask you, if you have the experience, if you have the knowledge, what is in the pickle brine that makes this man so infuriatingly powerful?
Darn.
Darnie says, Nova Matthews, listen up. I'm what they call a veteran around these parts, and I have been watching your rise in CPW. You've got potential. I see it. These people see it. But can you handle the big leagues? I intend to find out. That's why I'm challenging you one-on-one for the Heritage Championship at Blaze of Glory. This is your moment, Nova. Prove you're not just a flash in the pan. Step up, earn your keep, and make history. Can you hang with the baddest sumbitch in all of pro wrestling? It's time to find out. What do you say? Blaze of Glory Heritage Championship. Let's make it unforgettable.
Well, the challenge, the gauntlet laid out by Dan Darnester and Mr. Translator.
I am honestly... Have I mentioned how much I hate this guy? I hate Dan Darnester so much. Nova Matthews, punch him in the face for me, please. Wait, didn't he already get in the... What the hell? Huh?
He's showing his athleticism here, folks.
Since you seem to like one-word answers so much, yes.
And I guess... What? One-word answers? But
Darn.
Darn! Yes, either way, wherever the cookie crumbles, ladies and gentlemen, a singles match against former CPW World Heavyweight Champion Xavier Hawkins may have bit off more than he can chew here tonight.
I've seen Jacob Clark in the wrestling world for years at this point. I saw his first ever wrestling matchup when he was only 16 years old. So I know this kid, he knows ball. That's all I'm going to say. Xavier Hawkins, I haven't heard much.
Xavier Hawkins, you know, a former basketball player that, you know, his family have just felt like he's failed them. He chose the wrong career. And now he wants to prove that professional wrestling is exactly where he needs to be. He beat Diego Ryan. He's beaten former world champions here in CPW, and now he is going head-to-head with another one here tonight.
Xavier Hawkins making his way down the aisle. I appreciate a man who has an intention and seems to want to stick to it. I mean, like, we see so many people, they come into professional wrestling and they're like, I want to be the best in the world. I want to be the world champion. I want to be a Hall of Famer. I want to be number one. And then they lose and they lose and they lose and they blow every chance they get. Xavier Hawkins, I mean, he puts his money where his mouth is.
Absolutely, and you know what? He puts his money where his mouth is, and if he gets the boot, the foot in the mouth, he owns up to it.
Believe the word you're looking for is sinner's dreams, which, I mean, you could also talk about his feet if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not.
Well, regardless, the dreams and aspirations are big with Xavier Hawkins, but he may have an uphill battle here tonight because Jacob Clark is not one to take lightly.
I mean, Jacob Clark may not be one to take lightly, but I will say his affiliation with the Kingston has always made me less of a fan of this young man. Well, I mean, like, I already hate the Clarks by birth and all their friends, but their adopted son? Yeah, actually.
So what you're saying, Mars, is you're actually a Will Sheridan fan.
I would not go as far as to say that. I don't intend on being the president of the Will Sheridan fan club.
Well, that's what we're going to end up seeing at Blaze of Glory, the final chapter in this feud between the Clark dynasty and Will Sheridan. And I wonder if Jacob has that on his mind. I wonder if that's crawling, gnawing at the back of his subconsciousness. Is he going to have all of his focus on Savior here tonight, or is he going to let this one slip through the cracks?
I mean, it would not be the first time that Jacob Clark failed, snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. So definitely he's going to have to keep his eye on that one. I mean, truly a Sophie's choice there, but if I had to pick one, I'm going with Will Sheridan. Ring the bell, Leonard Seymour runs in. Clark, tried to hit that knee. And now Xavier Hawkins picks him up. Oh my goodness, Invictus there by Xavier Hawkins. But of course, this early in a match, a finisher's just a move. I don't care how good you are at hitting that particular move. First move of the match, you're not going to win with it. Plain and simple.
Absolutely not. And you see how the tides have turned, how the turns have tabled, if you will.
I won't, as Jacob Clark goes in for the leg bar there. And now trying to get a submission victory over Xavier Hawkins. This match has only been going on for 30 seconds. I don't know why he'd go for a submission. The inexperience of a man who's been in the business for so long. Oh my goodness, what a drop kick.
And I don't think it's quite inexperience. I think it's underestimation of his opponent.
I mean, Jacob Clark, multi-time world champion across a lot of different wrestling federations, but the question on my mind and on a lot of people's minds, I feel, is what have you done for me lately? Like world champion, sure, but rest on your laurels, and your laurels become your deathbed, as now he picks him up running Fisherman's Buster.
And now what's Jacob gonna do here? Looking like he's setting something up.
Big shoulder tackle there from Jacob Clark, slides to the outside. These CPW wrestlers really like this outside. I mean, I almost think they take a sixth sense of joy in getting slammed on the concrete, or at least the propensity of slamming someone else into it. Went for the master lock, couldn't quite get it. And throwing him into the apron.
We have the sickest and most sadistic wrestlers in all of professional wrestling, and the same goes for our fans. They are bloodthirsty. They smell, blood in the water, and that's all they truly care about as long as we're dealing with this shitty AI.
Oh my God, the butterfly suplex right into the table. His ankle hit that. That's a good way to rupture your Achilles tendon.
Absolutely. Speaking of, breaking.
Is that fan holding up a blank sign?
Breaking that ankle there. Yeah, that's another one of the things that don't work around here because, it is what it is.
I appreciate it. I mean, I have nothing to say about Jacob Clark that's good, so might as well say nothing at all. God, axe handle and a shining wizard. I like this Xavier Hawkins kid.
Yeah, the low effort of that sign reminded me of an Origins promo.
Well, don't have to worry about that ever again. Big clothesline there from Jacob Clark to Xavier Hawkins. Xavier now on the back foot, but gets a kick into the former world champion and slams him right into the stairs. Dubious legality there.
Well, Leonard Seymour, contrary to his name, doesn't see more than the average referee. I think he actually would be more aptly called Leonard C. Lest, but we can't go around changing last names, can we?
If we could, I wouldn't put you in charge of that committee, that's for sure. Paralyzer from Xavier Hawkins there, and Jacob Clark locking in a bully choke there on Xavier Hawkins. Tap out, kid, if you want to miss your own opportunity. Right ahead of Blaze of Glory, but Jacob not able to get it shifted to the side. You see that advanced ability to shift to the side, and now gets the elbows. That right there, shifting your position, is all that matters in a submission hold. Big form smash into the nip up.
And Xavier Hawkins looking pretty good with Jacob Clark right now.
Absolutely. Another big drop kick there from Xavier Hawkins. I like that running drop kick. Very flashy, but very effective, as Xavier Hawkins now hits a big knee lift and a kick right to the leg as well. Rope spring.
Wait a minute. The Poison Rana.
Oh my God. I'm gonna put some hair on your prepubescent chest, Jacob, into Invictus.
And that might do it.
Oh my God, of course he kicked out. Jacob Clark never letting someone else have their moment. This guy has gained a reputation for having no self-preservation, making people damn near kill him in that ring. Now Jacob Clark on the back foot. Oh, no, 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 no. Foot DDT onto the padding on the floor. But Xavier Hawkins picks him back up, not going to let that one devastating move do the damage. Nails him with a vicious side effect into a choke out here. A Kata Gatoji there from Xavier Hawkins.
Thank God you're fluent in more than one language here, because I would have just called that a huge submission, because literally these guys just innovate this offense every single time you see him come out.
Well, luckily for you, I know more than the average wrestling commentator. That's why they call me the professor.
So you're the one with the PhD. I understand now, but ladies and gentlemen, Xavier Hawkins looking to put an end to this one, but Jacob Clark finding the distance.
And Jacob Clark with a big lariat there to Xavier Hawkins, but Xavier gets the foot right in the face. Rope spring again. Nura, no! No realizer there, but did manage to float back to his feet a little bit. Midnight from Jacob Clark.
The clock has rung midnight, and is that the end of this matchup? But Xavier Hawkins kicking out.
All I'm gonna say right now is that if that was a forearm by someone with some actual hair on their chest, that would have been it. Jacob Clark isn't even old enough to drink. You expect me to believe he knows how to throw a forearm?
Absolutely. I mean, if it was somebody like Mikey Young, who we're going to see later on tonight, that would have been the end-all, be-all of this match.
And now, Xavier Hawkins throwing Jacob Clark aside. Looking to possibly get some separation between these two. Nearly 7 minutes have elapsed. Xavier Hawkins, this is dangerous territory. Top rope. Gonna try and dive out onto him. Oh my. Just went into the crowd. That would have been a hell of a front row experience.
Absolutely. You know, the fans get their money's worth in CPW, that is for sure.
It absolutely is, and I mean, luckily they don't get too much money's worth, or CPW may find itself in a court of law for a lawsuit. Big TNA kick there by Xavier Hawkins into the big diced bread. And now Xavier Hawkins grabbing Jacob Clark's sling blade. Ow, and lands on his legs again. This guy must have jelly legs or something, because he's taking a lot of offense right to the knees and ankles.
Absolutely, and you know, in this matchup at this juncture, it's hard to know who exactly is going to come out the victor. You know, you imagine halfway through the match, you would have some indication.
But that couldn't be further from the truth, James, as Jacob drops the knee on the arm. I mean, you have to wonder if he's going to be maybe trying to target the limb a little bit, or if he's just going to stick it out. And now Jacob with a nice neck breaker there onto Xavier, excuse me. 1, 2, Leonard Seymour. You know what? I'm beginning to like this guy more and more. Do more slow counts on the Clarks, please.
You know, Leonard Seymour does what he wants at any moment. Bulldog choke here again.
Got him locked in that bully choke, but Xavier Hawkins already shifting to the side. He learned the counter earlier in the matchup on the fly and then learned how to reapply it. That right there is the knowledge of a pro wrestler. As Xavier Hawkins now with a big form smash, and Xavier has him hooked. Oh no, Invictus for the 3rd time.
And that's got to do it.
2. So, would you stop doing that? Knock it off, Jacob. I mean, come on.
I mean, the one thing the Clarks know how to do is put themselves over.
Frog splash from the heavens. 1, 2. Kick out at 2 by Jacob Clark.
Xavier, you see the frustration on the face.
And a standing shooter there from Xavier Hawkins onto Jacob Clark. Jacob now just trying desperately to fight out of it, but got caught in a Greco shoulder lock and slammed right down.
Nearly detached the arm from the shoulder there. A brutal maneuver over the top now.
Rope step tope con hilo over the top. Fantastically done by Xavier Hawkins. But again, a hard landing for this kid. How many times can he land hard from his own offense? Oh my God, no! No! No!
Not the move!
A contentious move from the Arizona State Athletic Commission. Good God. If you don't fire this man, I swear to God, I think I might be on the side of Jacob Clark now. Do you know how bad you have to mess up for me to defend a Clark?
Well, it seems as though it's not bad enough for Leonard to ring the bell on that one.
It is a contentiously banned move, banned in 19 states and up to referee discretion in the other 31.
Congratulations there on that quick math. But now a quick DDT on the barely padded concrete. Jacob Clark seems to be in control, but commentators Kurt Xavier Hawkins trying to send either Jacob Clark to the heavens or down to the depths of hell because he is not ready to give this one up quite yet.
Revolution knee onto Jacob Clark. Viciously done there by Xavier Hawkins, and now throws him into the rope/apron area. Gonna go back in to break the count. Nice Davey Boy Smith nip up there from Xavier. Breaks the count that time by Xavier Hawkins, looking for an Invictus on the floor.
What the heck has gotten into Xavier?
I think that he just realizes that if he just keeps hitting his move, eventually Leonard Seymour will call this thing, because Jacob Clark is clearly not going to give up.
You know, we do hear the whispers of Xavier Hawkins having some mental instability, having some dual personalities, so to speak. But, you know, if this doesn't end quite soon, he might have a dual back. He's going to split that thing in half on that guardrail.
And right there, Jacob Clark hit the Russian leg sweep. You like that one?
Absolutely. I like everything that you do, Mars.
Well, I mean, I am the greatest of all time, except for Xavier Hawkins looking for a fifth Invictus. I mean, lose, please.
Fifth time may be the charm.
2, 3. Xavier Hawkins gets the win over Jacob Clark. I can't stand either of these two. Honestly, you know what? I'm declaring Leonard Seymour the victor. Screw the record books. Both these guys can go to hell.
Leonard Seymour winning his first official match here in CPW, I guess.
Are the only highlights we have him hitting the Invictus? I mean, he did hit it a lot.
I mean, I think the camera guy wanted to stay away from these two, but Xavier Hawkins getting the victory here. By hook or by crook.
And now we have to wonder what comes up next after that incredible matchup.
Unfortunately, I think we're going to hear from Don Atlas.
Who?
Exactly. We'll talk about contentious points. Look no further than Don Atlas, somebody that was banned from CPW on episode 3, I believe, for attacking Johnny D with a steel chair so brutally that it gave rise to the style that we can no longer get away from. Don Atlas making his return to CPW against my best wishes.
Well, I mean, he clearly, his biggest crime is thinking that khaki shorts are still in style with that honestly horrendous fit. I mean, like, golly.
He looks a little goofy, so to speak.
I will kill you, but I mean, like,
it looks like he's doing the freaking Titans run. What the hell is going on here?
I hate this guy. You know what? This guy's a regular Kenny Mitch. Are you sure this guy's name isn't Don Clark?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kenny Mitch picked out his outfit. They just seem like they're tight like that.
Golly, I mean, is that thing a size medium?
It's whatever size he needs it to be.
The socks with sandals go kind of hard, though.
Yeah, it's a brave choice. Brave choice.
But you know what you ain't done. It ain't proven. I know what I will be. I will do. I'm so motivated now. I feel new. Tell them all.
Imagine willingly dressing like that.
I know you want to be special.
Shane Roberts, you stupid motherfucker.
Whoa!
Enough of the bullshit.
Whoa!
I saw you on CPW Live. I know you're here. I know you're hiding somewhere. Show yourself. Get out here and face me. Get out here and let's settle this unfinished business.
Well, Shane Roberts
entering from the crowd. Oh, rolling through into a drop kick from Shane Roberts. A flashy entrance.
But Don Atlas
misses the moonsault. Oh my goodness. What a smack in the face that was. And another one is attempted, not quite able to. Shane Roberts. And these two are just doing battle. I mean, you may say a lot about Don Atlas, but clearly has a lot of aggression. Oh, the nip up. That was nice. And a big super kick as well. When did Don Atlas get on the top rope? Double axe handle there from Don Atlas.
He's just that quick, just that athletic.
Those socks with sandals got those Reebok pumps
Since
in
you
them.
finally decided to show yourself, how about we finish this at Blaze of Glory?
Well, it seems like Shane Roberts agrees, and so does the crowd.
And I guess that's that on that.
Absolutely, and Benjamin Balder now taking on Dower Ranger in the stead of World Heavyweight Champion contender Ebac.
Benjamin Balder taking on Dower Ranger, and I mean, they say if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. So I will say nothing about Dower Ranger, but Benjamin Balder, definitely an up-and-coming prospect in the world of pro wrestling, but he is already there when it comes to CPW. He is the man.
He is the man at the top of the mountain, but Dower Ranger, I don't know if we could call him a man.
I certainly wouldn't risk that assumption on Dower Ranger. I wouldn't even risk using gendered pronouns with Dower Ranger.
That's what I was going to say. I wouldn't know what their pronouns are. Got me slipping up, getting canceled here on live TV.
And coming out here with the pinata, Dower Ranger, truly contemptible. I feel like this person would be sticky to touch. I don't know why. I just get the feeling that they'd be sticky.
I mean, that pinata is always full of candy that they never eat because I don't believe they consume foods.
And Dower Ranger in the biggest match of their career. Is that safe to say?
I would assume so. This is probably the biggest match that Dower has ever had.
Is it the only match they've ever had? Because I'm looking on Cage Match here, and I just see an ASCII art drawing of a pinata.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's accurate, but speaking of someone who has paid dues here in CPW, look no further than the World Heavyweight Champion Benjamin Balder, who rose through the ranks of CPW. It was rising through the ranks of greater professional wrestling and becoming one of the top stars in the entire world.
I mean, you don't get to be a world champion by fluke. I've seen people fluke their way into tag titles, into mid-card titles, but a world championship's something you gotta earn.
Absolutely, and speaking of earning, he's earning the big bucks now. You see the patented sunglasses making its way to the ring. He's got the feeling. He's letting the beat play on replay. And can this be another replay, another win for the World Heavyweight Champion? I'm thinking it can be right here tonight.
And you know that he has no intention of going the distance with Dower Ranger. He's got his mind set on the prize that is evac.
Absolutely.
Dower Ranger, Ben Balder. Let's get into this one.
It's certainly been a long show here tonight, Mars, and it's just going to be a little bit longer for all the fans in Phoenix, Arizona. I hope that this one, like you said, does not go the distance, because we've got a Iron Man match later on tonight.
Oh my goodness, Dower Ranger, what is looking for? Grabbing the leg and just attacking it on the Phoenix rope. Nice attack there from Dower Ranger. I hate to give credit where it's due, but another drop kick there by Ben Balder.
Absolutely. Dower Ranger, his programming has gotten sufficiently better here in CPW.
Yoshi top. Ranger fantastically done. And a standing shooter as well. I mean, it's less impressive that a robot is able to do these things than an actual real deal human, but still, Tope con Giro.
Absolutely. Dower Ranger obviously got the extended warranty by American Home Shield, and he's going to need it here with Benjamin Balder as he gets slammed into those steps.
And a big running senton as well. Ben Balder, I mean, he's energetic. He's got a lot of power in those legs as well.
Yeah, he's definitely deceptively strong. People look at his hairdo, look at his attire, and they kind of cast doubt on him. But if one thing has been proven here in CPW with things like that, is he can't count this guy out.
And Benjamin Balder with a big DDT to the Dower Ranger there. What would it do to the mentality of Ben Balder if, let's just say the unthinkable, he loses to Dower Ranger? What does that do to him?
What the hell just happened?
Leonard Seymour! Oh my God, that wasn't Leonard Seymour. Oh my God, I just realized, who is that? Did he just
Loretta Seymour? Loretta Seymour just got assaulted.
Ring the damn bell.
Leonard and Loretta Seymour, the resident referees of CPW, the proud and happy family of CPW, just got assaulted yet again by more competitors here in CPW.
I mean, not for nothing, gorgeous drop kick, right, from Ben Balder. I mean, you know, not to play devil's advocate here, but that was a nice drop kick.
It was beautiful. A little off the mark, but it was beautiful nonetheless.
10 out of 10 for style, 5 out of 10 for accuracy.
Yeah, absolutely. But can he regain the target on Dower Ranger's back, so to speak?
And now Dower Ranger off the ropes, running through. Dower Ranger.
Absolutely, Dower Ranger spiking him.
And a Shiranui there from Dower Ranger as well. Goes in for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2.
And you hear the sick and sadistic bastards in Phoenix, Arizona. They're screaming, fight forever. And in the case of Dower Ranger, he could, but Benjamin Balder has got to defeat a championship after that maneuver.
Absolutely. Another big Tope con Giro. And as the fans chant fight forever, I heard that didn't get received very well as Dower Ranger looks to continue the offense.
Going up top.
Big corkscrew into an arm drag, clearly taking some notes from Malpractice Wrestling Jr. over the top rope. Is he just doing drills at this point? I don't even know.
I mean, that would be a kind of a sad fact if you think about it, because you got a world heavyweight champion and you've got an artificial intelligence here just doing drills on him. What does that say for the future of professional wrestling here?
All I know is I'll be long dead before I have to confront the mortal ideal of being known. Trading drop kicks. And now Ben Balder staying in it. Ben Balder is a world champion. Like I said, you don't get there by mistake. You don't get there by accident. You get there by doing, and he is doing the double knees into the standing shooter.
Going up to the top now. Could be looking for a Balder bash, but a little too far away. You know, Dower Ranger is not in the best placement for that, so now bringing him closer into the corner, perhaps.
Nice running arm bulldog there by Ben Balder into the DDT onto the Dower Ranger. Goes in for the cover. Loretta Seymour, one kick out. She seems to be back to full capacity after that gorgeous, though unfortunate, drop kick.
Way to make chromatic choke locked in.
Dower Ranger's foot's on the ropes. Loretta, don't let this guy get away with this.
Maybe she's a little disoriented from that beautiful drop kick. But Dower Ranger showing no signs of letting up here.
That was horrendous refereeing from Loretta Seymour. You know what? Ben Balder, kick her in the face again.
Well, I'm going to go on the platform formerly known as Twitter and not own up to that statement you just said. I have nothing to do with, you know, female violence.
Oh, went for a big kick there, but Dower Ranger got out of the way of it. And a nice drop kick flip there. And went for another one, but couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo. Pops back to his feet. Snap suplex there from Ben Balder, the world champion, as Dower Ranger rolls to the floor. Ben Balder wants him to his feet. What's he got in mind here? Rope spring and hits the tope con gyro. A very popular move here tonight.
You know, one would say that it happens almost too often here in CPW.
And now Ben Balder staying on the offensive, but Dower Ranger sends him into the barrier at ringside. Big club to the back and kicks and punches and chops. And nice shot there from Ben Balder, but Dower Ranger back into it. And Dower Ranger with a nice neck breaker there, but Ben Balder stays standing.
And this is just incredible that Benjamin Balder is able to withstand all of this damage. He's not fighting against a traditional competitor. You know, we've heard that EBAC wanted to keep everything on the up and up, but sending an AI, sending a robot after his opponent at Blaze of Glory, I don't know how a sportsman like that is.
With how little that atomic drop affected him, I have to wonder if Ben Balder and Dower Ranger both share the fact that they have balls of steel. Went for that drop kick. Couldn't quite connect.
Maybe that's why they call him Benjamin Balder. And I'm going to quit after that one.
And now thrown in, runs in, and now a punch in the face. And now Dower Ranger putting him on the barrier. That thin line dividing the fans from the competitors that neither should ever want to cross.
Absolutely not. And I've got to admit that you popped me on comms. I had to mute myself real quick. You tell me to shut up anytime you like. I kind of like it a little bit.
And now Dower Ranger staying in on Ben Balder, who did get busted open. You see that blood pooling around the left eye. I mean, sometimes we've heard stories of wrestlers keeping metal plates under their masks. Dower Ranger doesn't even have that such dignity. He just has a metal face.
Metal everything. And as he said, balls of steel. With Dower Ranger looking to put an end to this one, but not quite so soon.
And now,
coming out to extend the count, but Benjamin Balder finally got this back in the ring.
Rolling back in, could be looking for the Balder bash. No, instead looking for
Rainbow Road. It's so impactful that it piqued the mic of my broadcast colleagues, so I'll go ahead and say it for all the folks at home.
Rainbow Road connected, but not quite able to get it done. 9 minutes have elapsed in this 20-minute time limit contest. Now some Matrix revolutions there from Dower Ranger.
And now looking for that Shiranui yet again, but Benjamin Balder.
Oh my goodness, the Shiranui from Dower Ranger. 1, 2. Kick out from Ben Balder. Wrestling is alive.
crowd is chanting one more time. What kind of freaking bastards do we have watching this broadcast?
Oh my goodness. Back in the ring, Ben Balder is, but Dower Ranger shoots him all the way back out. Dower Ranger now looking to try and possibly capitalize. Loretta Seymour not going to stop him from going to the outside.
And there's been many occasions tonight, wheelbarrow DDT, there's been many occasions tonight that the contest probably should have been stopped, but these Seymours just let it ramp up and get worse and worse as the night continued.
And now Ben Balder showing exactly why he is the world champion, just lightly placing him on the barrier, letting him fall to the side, clearly not wanting to waste any strength lifting up that clearly nearly 700-pound robot.
Absolutely, and I think he was going to be more impactful with that, but he saw the little girl in the yellow shirt in the front row, and he decided not to pull that maneuver off right there.
Drop kick there from Dower Ranger and sends Ben Balder into the barricade, but oh my goodness, counter upon counter upon counter from Dower Ranger and Ben Balder. Benjamin Balder gets hit with a Frankensteiner. And now trying to stay on it, Loretta Seymour saying 8, telling him to get back in the ring.
We do have up until the count of 20, but ladies and gentlemen, this has to end sooner or later. 9 minutes left in the match. Elbow drop attempted. Benjamin Balder able to avert it.
And another running arm bulldog there from Ben Balder. Gonna try and possibly set up to him. You see him walking a little bit wonky there. Maybe it messed with Balder's gait. Big moonsault there from Ben Balder.
Well, you talk about Balder's gate. How's that for a companion? Huge clothesline over the top rope. Beautifully executed. And now Balder
with a huge diving Hurricane Rana onto Dower Ranger. I would not expect Dower Ranger to be in this thing for so long. Release German from Ben Balder, the world champion.
Absolutely huge German from the Norwegian here.
German from the Norwegian into a shooting star press, a variation on the Balder bash. Twice in a row.
Three times.
Goodness gracious, repetition. But it is effective every time.
Absolutely, reps are how you get good. So I guess Benjamin Balder at that Balder bash is very, very good.
Throws the Dower Ranger back into the ring. Up on the top rope he goes. Gotta go for Balder bash, surely. No, could be looking Rainbow Road.
What
by the
hell?
Dower Ranger. That was a great counter there by that android. Clearly ran the algorithm to try and figure out how to do that one. Running Frankensteiner there.
Absolutely, but speaking of algorithms, go ahead and like, share, subscribe to this video for more CPW because it helps us out. Chromatic choke, and that's gotta do it. Dower Ranger, the circuitry is getting a red alert right now. And Benjamin Balder has finally withstood the hired man, Dower Ranger.
There is a God. Dower Ranger lost. I'm so happy. Ben Balder, that's my world champion right there.
Absolutely, but he's going to have a tall order at Blaze of Glory after taking on the last survivor, or rather the final Countdown Battle Royal winner, Ebac, and I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it either, and I can't wait to see what else we have planned for this amazing show. Already some Match of the Year contenders have taken place.
Absolutely. And guys, I will tell you, we got 2 more matches left on this card. And right now, wait, 3 more matches left in this card. Misspoke. Diego Ryan going head to head with Brad Winters. Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been a developing feud, a developing rivalry. Diego Ryan has transitioned into submission tactics. Brad Winters, of course, is a technical wrestler known for that as well. And now they're going head to head to prove who is better of the two.
Absolutely right. Brad Winters and Diego Ryan, two absolutely incredible technical wizards in the ring. And I mean, if you like techers, then you're going to love this matchup. Diego Ryan, though, he will always have that background of being a high flyer that he can pull out when need be.
Absolutely, and that's just using, his small size to his advantage. That's using his acrobatic skill. He was a gymnast prior to becoming a professional wrestler, and to rely on that wealth of knowledge and experience is a good strategy, in my opinion.
It absolutely will be. Diego Ryan looking to head to the ring now. You see that braced up knee on his left leg. Will that be a target for Brad Winters? Someone who knows how to pick apart the body so effectively.
And I think it will. That's definitely going to be the target on the back or on the knee, so to speak, for Brad Winters. And that's one of the reasons why Diego has transitioned into this technical wrestler that he is now, because just the luchador style became too much. He's too injury prone with that knee. And now he's had to transition and adapt. But that's what he does best.
I mean, some of the greatest of all time have changed up their style to prolong their career. You look at a Jushin Thunder Liger. You look at a Keiji Muto. You look at Steve Austin. You look at so many people who changed their careers and only went on to do bigger and better things.
Absolutely. Diego Ryan, a new attitude, a moveset, a new, reasonably new theme song. Just giving us a whole new scope of what he's capable of.
And I, for one, am a big fan. I know Diego Ryan, a day oneer here.
Absolutely. But speaking of a man that's capable of anything and everything, Brad Winters, Old Man Winters, making his return.
Brad Winters looking to make a splash here against Diego Ryan. It really is a battle of the established versus that needs to be established.
Absolutely. Brad Winters is, joined us pretty early in CPW history, but took a long and extended break from us. He's come back as a new man, so to speak. And now even tonight, our renders weren't updated on the match card. He's shaved up, cleaned up, and now looking like a completely different person. Can that be exactly what he needs to get an edge on Diego Ryan here tonight?
I mean, I appreciate new year, new me, but you got to put it into practice. Being a successful pro wrestler is more than getting a new look. Being a professional wrestler involved is more than being one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. You got to win, and you got to win when it matters.
Absolutely. And Diego, you see those targets, you see the injured shoulder, you see the injured knee. Diego Ryan's one of those that have fought week in and week out since the very beginning of CPW. And it's showing. It's definitely showing.
You absolutely have. You see that braced up left knee. You see the kinesiological tape on the left shoulder. He is going to have to try and avoid the chance of Brad Winters going after that. You see him going after Winters' left knee, maybe trying to even up the playing field a little bit.
That perhaps could be the goal here of Diego Ryan.
Goodness, this is an incredible assault on the left knee. Diego may need to hook him up with his brace guy. God, jeez. Brad Winters, oh my God.
Ever since Diego Ryan has, adopted this Destiny's Decision, that rolling deathlock that he's employed in recent weeks and recent months, he's been a whole different kind of competitor.
Oh my goodness, a rolling thunder there from Diego Ryan. Can't quite take the Lucha Libre out of him. Trying to go back to that leg, but I mean, God, you can already see Brad Winters limping a little bit. Tried to go for a PK, but he couldn't even get his leg up all the way.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets the upper hand in this matchup. We're still in the early goings, but I don't know who to root for. If you're a betting individual, go ahead and place your bets.
God, back to the leg again. Right there, very smart, hooking the right leg so that Winters has to power out with his left leg. This Diego Ryan, he's done his homework. I mean, I wasn't sure how this transition would suit him, but he has done the homework on how to be a fantastic technical wrestler. Oh, and you see him land hard on that left leg. Brad Winters clearly struggling to adapt, but he's going to go for a dive. This could not be a good decision.
Wait a minute, Brad Winters, tope.
He hit that gorgeous plancha, but you saw him take all the weight on his leg. Good God. And now going in on the leg of Diego, and a kick right to the eye. God. Well, this matchup is certainly standing out from some others that we've seen. We've seen some violent matches in CPW tonight, but this is just a vicious technical affair. Can you believe they've only been going for 2.5 minutes?
Absolutely not. It feels like we've been here for a 15-minute match already. Submission on the outside.
Oh my God, I love this. This is fantastic technical acumen. The braced up left leg, the kinesiologically taped left shoulder, and Brad Winters targets both. I love that. German on the concrete. Oh my God. And punching that concrete as well. He must hate the floor. Oh, there's that lucha backer. No, that is a bad call. He went for something big, but took all of the concrete on his back.
Absolutely sandwiched between his opponent and that concrete. Not a good look for Diego Ryan, but he still persists.
Right back to that left leg once again. He has targeted that for this whole night. This has been amazing to see. Rolling Thunder on the concrete. Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
Jesus. Stop doing that, please.
Well, at least he's putting something between himself and the floor now. Unfortunately for Brad Winters, it's his entire body.
You see that blood starting to crust up on the left eye of Brad Winters. Luckily for him, it wasn't a large cut, but it did cause a lot of blood. Hope to goodness that it is not an orbital bone fracture.
It wouldn't be the most surprising thing here tonight, but now these two competitors making their way back in the ring. Brad Winters got him on the shoulder.
And a nice attack there in the corner, a snake eyes of sorts.
And I believe Diego Ryan is now bleeding from his eye.
Goodness gracious, a violent matchup here. Going back to the taped up shoulder of Diego Ryan. And you know, we brought a lot of attention to the left arm, left shoulder, but you see that armband as well. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a copper-laced armband, something to try and help out with any nerve or tendon damage. I mean, Diego Ryan, he's wrestled a hard style.
Absolutely, and you know, he just never allows himself to have a break. Some people, they come in 3 months, they take a couple months off just to kind of recuperate. The CPW contracts allow for that flexibility, but Diego Ryan has never allowed himself to take that.
Goes in for the cover, and you see him hard hooking that left leg. We made mention earlier of the fact that Diego Ryan forced Brad Winters to kick out with his bad leg, but Brad Winters there forcing Diego to kick out with his bad shoulder. Both very impressive technical decisions.
Absolutely, and just the punches to the kidneys and the ribs.
And then a half-hatch suplex. I don't know how much you know about mixed martial arts, but liver shots are banned in MMA. They're legal in wrestling. They can take a man down in a single shot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like, you know, referee Leonard Seymour is just letting it all happen here in Arizona.
The line, and a flying elbow, shades of El Mago there from Diego Ryan. Looking for something big here. Could be looking at ace of the deck. Has him up. And he hits it flush. 1, 2. Winters kicks out. Manages to get the shoulder up off the ace of the deck. Fantastically done. Diego Ryan going to the top rope. What's he have in mind? Oh no. Just wings, and it's countered. He took that full brunt on his left knee and his chest. Now some more kidney shots into the half hatch.
Those kidney shots definitely look brutal, but brutality is occurring here right now. Brainbuster.
Fisherman's variety off the brainbuster. 1, 2. Kick out from Diego Ryan. You saw him kick out with both hands there, pressing out. He didn't want to risk any more damage to that left shoulder that has already been forced to endure a lot of technical attack from Brad Winters. Went in for a sliding attack there. And now he's targeting Brad Winters' left arm.
And, you know, it's been turnabout the entire matchup. I think Brad Winters was going to go for that sliding Boston Crab, unable to get it done. But thankfully for Diego Ryan, because I think that would have been the end of this match, considering all the damage that's been inflicted.
Vicious pile driver there by Brad Winters. And now trying to stomp on his face, but you see he struggled a little bit to keep his balance, going for that left leg attack. And Diego managed to counter. Big drop kick is evaded by Brad Winters. And a huge Gary Shining Wizard combination. And now could be looking for something here. Brad Winters and Diego Ryan swapping positions, constant jockeying, springboard, and beautiful drop kick. What a nice drop kick.
Holy moly.
1. Kick out at 1 by Brad Winters. You saw him power out with that right arm, though. Diego Ryan has targeted the left arm just a little bit, so Brad Winters refusing to use it, refusing to let it take any more damage. Oh my goodness, cradle brainbuster.
And we're just seeing the depth of the repertoires of both of these competitors. They're going real deep in the playbook here.
They absolutely are. Oh my goodness, German suplex. No, captures him into a rear naked choke. He's got that applied. You see the hand put right on the temple. That was trying to lock it in, but he took a little too long. And Diego Ryan, right before he got the clinch in, managed to get that elbow in.
Yeah, definite display of resiliency there by Diego Ryan.
Oh, and kicking the right leg there, forcing him to take all of the weight on his body on his left leg. And people, you know, often ask why someone's able to escape a rear naked choke so quickly as he goes back to the left leg for what seems like a 90th time at this point, but Brad Winters stays standing. If you don't get the full clinch locked in, a rear naked choke is basically non-effective. But as soon as you do, one of the most devastating holds in pro wrestling.
Absolutely. It's, you know, devastating. It's basic. It's easy to lock in when you have your opponent worn down.
Now goes in for the cover. 2. Kick out hard at 2 by Brad Winters. And now dropping the elbow is Diego Ryan, notably using his right arm there, not wanting to do any more unnecessary damage to that left arm. So definitely very smart. Going to go in for some more elbows on Brad Winters. Just basic. You know, this is what I'm talking about with Diego Ryan. He definitely managed to change up his moveset, because in a past life, he may have decided to go for a big flipping maneuver, but he's changed. All that, what?
Wait, speaking of flipping maneuvers.
Backbreaker on the bad knee. You see Diego check on his knee right before he stands up. He was a little bit worried there. Rolling through. You see that cut on the nose of Diego Ryan. It is seemingly stopped producing blood up to the top rope. And double stomp, but oh, once again, you see the grimace on his face from all that impact to the knee.
And now this is just, it's been a very, you know, technical matchup, but in the later stages, it's been really basic maneuvers that have, you know, made the bulk of the offense here. And I think that's a smart strategy. A lot of people come in with these convoluted submissions. They try to do too much and leave the opponent open to counter.
Oh my goodness, he's got him in a chicken wing and drops him right on the left arm and hooks the left leg. 1, 2. Diego forced to kick out with that left arm once again. I hate to keep bringing attention to it, but it is apt that Diego constantly having to use his bad appendages to get the shoulder up. Back to the left leg, and a Euro uppercut sends him out. Go behind and backstabber, at least in a more apt position than on the concrete.
Absolutely. Diego Ryan, what's he looking for here?
Tiger driver.
Definitely something we wouldn't have seen a few months ago in a midnight.
Right to the cut on the eye. I really think that Brad Winters should get that orbital bone checked out. Oh, Diego, this is a bad idea, buddy. This is a horrible idea. diving splash, landing hard. He managed to hit it, but that was not smart.
Not at all, but you see the balance of Diego Ryan. We talk about him being a former gymnast, and that is the moments. Those are the moments where he showcases that.
And now Brad Winters thrown back into the ring. Diego Ryan being respectful. He wants this to take place inside the ring. They've had enough brawling on the outside, and he's going to get back in the ring. Up to the tippity, and I cannot stress this enough, tippity top rope. Oh no, don't do this, kid. No! Angel's wings again misses. That right there, that instinct can be so hard to combat, and I think that's gonna cost him. Fisherman's brainbuster hooked the bad leg and all goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Brad Winters gets the win, but give the assist to Diego Ryan's hubris.
Absolutely, he's known to be the high flyer. He wants to give the fans what they want, and unfortunately, Diego didn't get what he wanted here tonight.
2 times he was dropped on his head after missing the Angel's wings. We saw both instances of it there. See all that blood spreading from the eye socket, the orbital area of Brad Winters onto the nose. That is definitely going to be a bad cut and will be not even close to healed by the time Blaze of Glory runs around.
Oh, absolutely not. These men are going to be held together by staples, stitches, and glue.
Brad Winters definitely looking worse for wear, but Brad now attacking Diego, who got back to his feet, tried to offer a handshake, I believe, didn't quite get a camera on it, and locks him in a rear naked choke. You see him now fully clasping on Diego Ryan. Diego managed to block it before, but now we're going to need to get some people out here to break the grip because Diego's tapping.
Absolutely. You see the brand new Covenant Pro Wrestling Fuck Your Fed t-shirts. Go ahead and get those at CovenantProWrestling.com.
Oh my goodness. Big running stomp from Tony Samuels, the CPW television champion. Brad Winters just wrestled an incredibly technical match, so this is definitely not exactly noble of the show-stealing TV champion, and now got him locked in this vicious sleeper hold. Trying to deal some damage to Brad. We see that he managed to wipe off the blood from his face, but now Diego Ryan back in. Where's the line on that one? Diego Ryan now picking up Tony Samuels, double legging him, and now he's going after Tony's left leg with the Destiny's Decision. Good Lord.
And Diego Ryan is just incensed right now.
Diego Ryan definitely not doing the noble thing, and I don't blame him. He tried to be a good guy. Brad Winters took him down, and now taking Tony Samuels out, and he's going to celebrate despite not getting the victory here tonight.
But ladies and gentlemen, no match card needed. We're going right in to the main event. Jacob Nitro making his way out to the ring, and this is going to be an Iron Man match between him and none other than Michael Young.
Jacob Nitro and Michael Young have a lot of history together, of course, in another place and another time. Jacob Nitro was in a championship matchup against Michael Young, and even despite being the fresher man, he came up short. Jacob Nitro unable to beat Michael Young then, but now they're going to be locked in the ring together for the duration of an Iron Man matchup. Not about one fall, it's not even about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be 180 falls, but whoever has the most will be the winner at the end of this thing.
Absolutely, and you know, Jacob Nitro, from that time you spoke about to now, has become a completely different competitor. He's not the same man that faced Michael Young those many, many moons ago. He has become better, he's become stronger, and he is prepared tonight to do what he couldn't do way back when.
Well, it's all gonna depend on if he can do it now. And how long is this Iron Man match for, James?
It all depends on the discretion of Leonard Seymour, because they didn't give me that in my notes.
Well, I guess we'll call it on the fly.
Many don't know that Leonard Seymour has a much more pivotal role in CPW than you would expect.
And the Death Daddy is here, the top guy, Sheen, the Lord of the Lariat, the Aussie Assassin, the Keeper of the Gates of Heaven, Michael Young.
I'm being told, I believe that this is a 25-minute Iron Man match. Gave him a little bit extra just for those 5 more minutes.
I really like these Zubaz pants that Mikey has on. Can we make that the official commentator's outfit next time I come by?
Yeah, you can wear whatever you want to. All that matters is your voice, not your style.
And now Michael Young, a multiple-time world champion, multiple-time champion in many other divisions, a man who knows the history, has studied the tape. And I mean, this guy right here, he's a student of the game. He truly, truly is. You can go up to Michael Young. You can talk to him about anything. You can talk to him about All Japan. You can talk to him about Pancrase. You can talk to him about Battle Arts. You can talk to him about CPW. And he can either tell you someone who's won, or he can name a match where he kicked someone's ass, knocked their head off their shoulders.
Absolutely. Michael Young has done it all, seen it all, and been a part of it all.
Springboard Poison Rana to start on. Jacob Nitro goes in for the cover. 1 kick out right there, killing the business. And now Michael Young grabbing Jacob Nitro, but a punch in the stomach is not quite what he needs to be doing right now. Big scoop and a slam off the ropes. He runs into a nice leg drop from Jacob Nitro. And Jacob in with the punches to Michael Young.
And I think that's what you got to do against someone like Mikey, because Mikey can take a beating. It's all about dishing out just that much more. And I think Jacob knows that.
And Jacob Nitro gonna have to stay on him. Here's the thing, you know, this is one wrestling match, but inside of that one wrestling match could be a near infinite number of matches at any given point, at any given time, for any given reason. A wrestler may lose a fall in an Iron Man match. Oftentimes it seems like wrestlers are a little bit weaker in Iron Man matches, but truly, as he hits the Nitro Boost attempt and misses, I truly just think that wrestlers are just a little more frenetic in an Iron Man match. The 585-2 kick out by Jacob Nitro. A lot of flips and flops there by Jacob Nitro, both intentional and non. Mikey grabbing the leg and attacking him. Now
you hear the crowd fight forever as he locks in that submission hold.
And Jacob Nitro running in. Pop Rana there from Jacob Nitro. And Nitro now throwing Mikey to the outside. You see Mikey landing hard on that shoulder. He's also got some kinesiological tape on his shoulder. We saw that play a big part in a match earlier tonight. Diego Ryan and Brad Winters. Shoulder injuries are very common, and I take it by Leonard Seymour heading to the outside that this is also false count anywhere.
Absolutely. Leonard Seymour does what he wants, and I think in the essence of making sure that there are enough falls to decide a true victor, he's going to do exactly what it takes. Outside falls, KOs, anything he needs to.
And, you know, we often talk about Iron Man matches in the terms that, like, a lot of falls could happen, but crossfire from Jacob Nitro. 1, 2, kick out by Mikey Young, as I was saying. But I mean, think of how many Iron Man matches we've seen in history that go 0-0, that go 1-0, maybe 2-1. I mean, a lot of times these wrestlers, like, they refuse to give in, because giving up a fall is super dangerous. Went for an ass attack there, maybe a rear view, but couldn't quite get it.
I think what he was doing, he was going before that Poison Rana just didn't quite get the distance. Mikey Young's a big boy. He's a wide boy.
He absolutely is. He's on his big boy arc. He has been bulking for his entire life. Tope con hilo over the top rope onto Mikey Young. Looked like Mikey tried to catch him into maybe a potential power bomb, but just got crushed under the weight and momentum of Jacob Nitro. And Jacob Nitro, butterfly suplex.
His own.
Oh, that was rough. That was right to the ankle.
Ooh.
Right to the taped up arm of Mikey Young there with that boot. Jacob Nitro trying to stay in a big chop. And now, oh, right to the Michael Young family jewels.
The forbidden fruit, if you will.
I won't. But Michael Young now going in on it. Oh my goodness, look at this power from the big buff daddy. The big bad death daddy, Michael Young, dropping Jacob Nitro right next to that barrier. That could have ended his career if he landed just a foot or two to the other direction. 585 from Michael Young. Goes in for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out from Michael Young, or from Jacob Nitro from Michael Young's 585 there. Clearly maybe needs to practice a little bit more, delivering a few more lariats to his dog, Stoney.
Leave Stoney out of this, damn it.
It's not my fault that Michael Young throws lariats at dogs. I just report the facts.
Well, Stoney, I feel for you, my friend. As I feel for Jacob Nitro after that uppercut there.
Jesus! What the hell was that? Now looking to lift him up, the big power slam once again, military press. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Dropping him hard. Jacob Nitro has just been getting rammed by Michael Young.
Absolutely, and you know, this is going to be a fight to the death, it seems. Not just an Iron Man match for these two.
5 minutes of the 25 time limit have elapsed. Kick there from Jacob Nitro, throwing into the barrier. Jacob finally trying to get back into this, taking apart the Ghost fan experience. We've seen a lot of talk about our regular fans, but our undead fans, courtesy of Mape Attack, are also welcome to take part in the fan experience.
Absolutely. The Turkish announce team is a part of a Lost to Ghost ship that has now been inherited by CPW.
Throwing into the barrier, Michael Young now looking for some implements under the ring. He's got a Singapore cane, and he is just thrashing Jacob Nitro. Oh, and that right there is devastating, threatening to hit him, knowing that he doesn't need to do anything else. 2, not quite. Still no false over 6 minutes into this matchup. Not quite surprising given the duration of a normal CPW matchup, but still the devastation has been on fire here. Oh my goodness, Shiranui from Jacob Nitro.
Nitro punches and bunches here, now up against the barricade. What's he gonna do here? Nitro is not known to get as hardcore as someone like Michael Young. But
well, he's going to have to do whatever he can as he hits a perfect plex, a very traditional maneuver. 2, 3. Got the pin off the perfect plex.
Wait a minute. Crossfire.
1, 2, 3. He just goes up 2-0 on Michael Young. You don't just do that.
And regardless of how this goes, if Michael Young mounts a comeback, no one can take away that he got 2 falls on Michael Young in the span of 30 seconds.
Not even 30 seconds. That was about like 15. Michael went for the brain buster there, but couldn't quite get it. And now Jacob Nitro may be looking to pick up that Singapore cane. Thinks better of it, clearly valuing his morals over Michael Young, who did use that maneuver. Shiranui once again from Jacob Nitro, goes in for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and Jacob 3-0 on Mikey.
Unbelievable, wait a minute.
My God. 1, 2, 3. Is Michael Young concussed or something?
I think he might have a concussion based on that spike of his head on the guardrail, on the barricade that we saw just before the first fall. But I'm no medical professional here.
Well, neither is Dr. Wrestling Jr., and that never stopped him. Michael Young, though, preventing the suplex and delivering one into the steps. Mikey is 4 falls down. That's almost insurmountable.
Absolutely. He's got 16 minutes and change to make a different story for himself here tonight. And Jacob going into the crowd.
Jacob trying to hype up these fans, but they are firmly behind Michael Young, at least at this juncture. Everyone loves an underdog, I guess. Thrown into the table, right into the corner of it. Jacob Nitro trying to stay on Michael Young. Going back in. He really wants the crowd on his side, and they are not giving it to him, at least not right now. Oh, seems like the tides are turning a little bit. The crowd seeming every single time to get a little more in favor of Jacob Nitro.
What is he doing?
Mind games. The disrespect from Jacob Nitro into the Exploder suplex. Truly, the mind of Jacob Nitro is an enigma.
Absolutely. Michael Young nearly about to join him.
Big Michinoku driver there from Jacob Nitro. Please don't go back into the crowd. And he doesn't. The fans aren't going to love you, Jacob, not while you're beating up the top guy. Shit. Back of the head. And Mikey going in, and that's a reaction right there. And now grabbing Jacob Nitro. Powerbomb to Nitro. Grabbing the Singapore cane. Just slamming it on Jacob Nitro. Picking him up. Mikey down 4 falls to nothing. Thrown right into the barrier. Grabs the Singapore cane once again. And he's taunting with it. He doesn't have time to be doing that. Mikey, maybe a little bit of hot dogging and grandstanding, but not what I would be doing personally. Grabs the leg, trips it down. Jacob Nitro's head hitting the back. Oh, and posing.
It's very out of character for Michael Young.
Oh, not the abdominal stretch. Nobody ever escapes the abdominal stretch. And 5-0.
Is this the burial of one named Michael Young at the hands of Jacob Nitro?
Oh, Nitro busted open there. Michael Young trying to get some blood back in kind. You already have a Singapore cane, Mikey. What do you want this one for? Oh, no, 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 no. Crossfire from Jacob Nitro. 1, 2, 3. Is that 6-0? Is there a mercy rule in wrestling?
Not when Leonard Seymour is the officiant. 5-8-5 to Jacob Nitro.
5-8-5 equals DIE. 1, 2. Kick out. Strong kick out.
I think Nitro is boosting in this matchup. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, another one. How many of these are there under there? Do you guys own a Singapore cane factory?
It's very unclear. I believe there's some kind of glitch in the Matrix, because this is not the ordinary toolbox, I guess you would say.
But we also point out that they haven't been in the ring in almost 10 minutes.
Who needs a ring when you've got the barely padded concrete?
I mean, fair. Michael Young staying on Jacob Nitro here, looking for a doctor bomb. The steps. That's gotta at least be a fall for Mikey. 1, 2, 3, and that's 6-1.
Can this be the comeback? A very unlikely comeback, but Mikey Young has done the crazier thing.
I'm going to put it in right now. If Jacob Nitro blows a 6-1 lead, then his career might be over. Jacob throwing Michael over the barrier, grabbing a Singapore cane once again. He's waiting for Mikey to hop back over. Jacob running in, clatters Mikey in the face, and another time, 3rd time, 4th time. Picks him right back up, kicking the leg out of his leg, and now punches and puts Mikey on the barrier.
Both men using the environment here tonight, but that abdominal stretch locked in yet again.
Will he get another tap out? Mikey in trouble. Oh my goodness, Leonard Seymour struggling to call it because Mikey escapes. Hip toss onto the barrier. This entire match basically has taken place right next to this barrier as another 5-8-5 from Michael Young. 1, 2, 3. It's 6-2.
Got to do that 4 more times to tie this up, and Michael Young's not slowing down.
Big power bomb there from Mikey. Stomping the leg out of his leg. Locking in that side figure 4 as well. Jacob Nitro might submit there, but Mikey lets it go. That is one beat up Singapore cane right there. And that's pretty true.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what cane?
Well, certainly no Glenn Jacobs as Mikey goes right back into that side figure 4 on Jacob Nitro.
Seeing a lot of submission here from Michael Young.
And Jacob Nitro, to be fair, he's went for that abdominal stretch a few times now and even got a fall with it. Big kick in the face there from Jacob Nitro. 1, 2, 3. 7-2 is the score to beat. Mikey grabbed it by Jacob. Oh my goodness, I think a wrestling match is about to break out here, James.
I think you might be right, and you know, I think even the best competitors have an off night, and Michael Young may be having one of those here tonight, but he's not gonna quit. Gut wrench throws onto Jacob Nitro.
He's got to stop all this grandstanding. That is holding him back. That's very unlike the Michael Young I know. Now just some vicious arm trapped kicks there from Mikey. And now locking in a dragon sleeper on Jacob Nitro, because could this bring it 3-7? Jacob Nitro being writhed around by Michael Young like a boa constrictor. Can Jacob escape? Or is this gonna put him away? Jacob bucks him over with a lack of energy there, I guess you would say, from Jacob Nitro. He is worn out. Crossfire again. 1,
not worn out enough.
2, 3. Jacob goes 8-2 on Michael Young.
Well, this is gonna leave no question on whether or not Jacob Nitro was ready for this matchup.
Michael Young in a bad spot as Jacob Nitro with that trap German stays up there. And now looking for something big here. The Nitro boost. Looking to go 9. 1, 2, 3.
Going back out.
Jacob Nitro looking for more implements. He's got a steel chair. And he's also got a 7-point lead. Big moonsault chair and all from Michael Young. He's got to start going for pins and submissions, honestly. 5, or just keep hitting those.
That'll do it.
1, 2, 3. 9-3 is the score to beat for Michael Young. 6-point deficit. Pile driver incoming, not quite. Jacob Nitro reverses it. Runs into the ropes. Perfect plex, the move that got him the first fall of the matchup. And a PK. Mikey, definitely not his usual self. That is self-evident as he's thrown to the ropes. Meeting of the shoulders there. Mikey with the Kawada kicks right to the head of Jacob Nitro. Throws him into the ropes. Meeting of the shoulders once again. Bimmy to Jimmy suplex from Michael Young. Go for the pin, man. What do you got to lose at this point? I'd be pinning him after every move.
Exactly. I'd be pinning him after pinning him. Just wear it down the opponent.
Big power slam there by Jacob Nitro. Mikey went for a flippy-do that I've never seen him go for. And it's 10-3 now. I think Mikey might need to seek medical attention, honestly. Chop into the DDT from Mikey Young. That could make it 4-10. 1, 2, 3. It seems like every move at this point is a fall. Both of these men so worn out. Lariat countered with the TNA kick. All that blood across the face of Jacob Nitro may be starting to get to him. 4-10. Mikey has pretty much been stuck at that six deficit. That's pretty much been the story of this matchup.
Absolutely.
Mikey managing to reverse another attempt at that spider suplex, gets on the apron, and he's going to go up top. We don't see Mikey go to the tippity top very often, but when he does, not connect. Jacob managed to roll.
Just barely managed to roll. He was right on the money with that moonsault.
Big stomping.
But that roll changed the whole story.
Big stomping boot there by Mikey. Pile driver from Michael Young. 1, 2, 3. It is 10-5 now. Mikey's back to a 5 deficit. I mean, he's making a comeback here. 580. That could do it right there.
Closing the gap.
2, 3. 10-6. Michael Young. I mean, he's making a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years.
Jacob Nitro may have amnesia. He may have forgotten that Michael Young is him. Go to Australia. Michael Young, 100% Himalayan. He picks up Jacob Nitro. Kick in the stomach there from Nitro. Kick in the stomach there from Young. Jacob Nitro with a teardrop overhead suplex, but slow to get to his feet. Nitro may be looking for the Nitro boost, that Phoenix splash. No. Tennessee jam from Jacob Nitro into an elbow. I like that combo.
You know, he's bringing out the heavy artillery here tonight, trying to throw Michael Young off his game. Michael Young knew what he was getting into, but Jacob Nitro rather, screw those Clarks, it's changing the story.
Crossfire there by Jacob Nitro. That could make it 11. 1, 2, 3. 11-6 is the score. Back to that 5 deficit for Michael Young. 4 minutes remain. Oh no, not back to the abdominal stretch. The most devastating move in his arsenal, maybe in all of professional wrestling today. Michael Young getting stretched out in his abdominal region, but Mikey manages to buck him off. 5-fall deficit for Michael Young as he is throwing Jacob Nitro into the fan experience table. And Jacob Nitro, oh, he's telling the ref to throw up the X. That's disrespectful to a guy like Michael Young. Kicking the sternum there by Mikey. And Jacob Nitro staying on him.
3 minutes and change left in this one, and it's looking to be all Nitro right now.
I mean, Mikey's got, what is that? About 390 seconds to try and get 5 falls. I did that math wrong. It's actually about 210 seconds. I failed math. I was trained in Phoenix, Arizona. It's not my fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I'm the last one to be talking math, okay? They hired me on the spot off the street. I have no credentials.
Just like May Patak. Brainbuster.
It's crazy here what we've seen in this matchup, and somehow, some way, I'm still rooting for Michael Young to come back, although I still want Jacob to finally have the glory of saying he finally beat Mikey Young.
Michael there with a big slam, still 5-fall deficit. Quit hot dogging and grandstanding, man. Knock it off. I mean, he's starting to lose my support. Now just the stomps. He's taking too much time. He doesn't have the ability to be methodical right now. This is not good.
Now, I don't think he's even worried about the time right now. I think he's trying to save face here.
Goes in for the cover. 1, 2, 3. It's up to 7-11 now. Mikey Young now tripping him up, but Jacob pushes him away. Shiranui from Jacob Nitro. And now once again the crossfire from Jacob Nitro. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna make it 12-7.
I think this has been a valiant effort by Michael Young. Some nights just aren't your night. I'm increasingly impressed with Jacob Nitro making this statement he's making here tonight.
I think that this match is going to show that the crossfire may be one of the most devastating moves in wrestling today as Mikey hits the brain buster. 1, 2, 3, 12-8. Mikey has a minute. Mikey going
for that pile driver.
Pile driver on the concrete to Jacob Nitro. 1, 2, 3, 12-9. Mikey could have something cooking here. Big gut wrench suplex there. I'd be going for a pin after every move if I was Michael Young personally. Big chop is countered by Jacob Nitro. Jacob grabs Mikey. Big fisherman suplex on the floor once again.
Thought for a moment he's going to go for the cover on that one, but elected.
Oh no, the indomitable stretch once again from Jacob Nitro. Just the insult to injury as he's running down the clock, not giving Mikey any time to try and get another fall. Can Mikey at least hold on for another 2 seconds? And he throws him over just as time elapses. 12-9, that's the score.
Unbelievable matchup. Congratulations, Jacob Nitro. Unexpected here tonight for him to pull this one out so emphatically. You see the replays from the cameraman. A lot happened in this match, cannot be encapsulated in this small span of time. But one of the best matches I've seen to date in CPW.
100% correct, James.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as Jacob Nitro celebrates his victory, that means one thing and one thing only. We have one match remaining in the duration of the show tonight, and that is Will Sheridan taking on our chairman, Alex Clark.
Definitely going to be a bloody encounter. No love lost between those two.
Absolutely not. Go ahead, Marv.
Will Sheridan and Alex Clark. I mean, really, Will Sheridan and Clark's in general has been the story of CPW since it started, really.
Absolutely the longest reigning feud, I think, in CPW other than Morgan Sharp versus Mac Daddy Furnace, but this one has definitely been far more violent and far more impactful to the landscape of CPW.
100% true, James, but these two, I don't expect there to be a single bit of technical wrestling in this thing. This is just going to be violence.
Absolutely, and I fear for our chairman, Alex Clark. You don't gotta like him, but Will Sheridan getting in the ring and the mental state that he's been recently, you don't want to wish that upon anybody.
I mean, I wouldn't wish a lot of things on a lot of people, but Will Sheridan, I mean, he's former world champion. I mean, he's a man who's done it all, won it all, but he's been locked in this never-ending feud with Alex Clark, Jamie Clark, Jacob Clark, all the Clarks.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Will Sheridan versus Cassidy Clark at this point.
Well, that's because he knows that he'd lose to Cassidy Clark. I mean, that's the one Clark I'll defend because she likes Nanami Toyota. But Will Sheridan in the ring and Alex Clark ready to make his way out here.
Absolutely.
And here he is, Alex Clark making his way down the aisle.
You know, it's an interesting change of pace for our chairman, Alex Clark. He hasn't been in the ring very much in CPW, but we do know that he is fully capable of getting the job done against someone like Will Sheridan.
I mean, Alex Clark, a multi-time world champion in a lot of other places, but he doesn't feel the need to be a wrestler in CPW. He lets his son, Jamie Clark, get the glory.
Absolutely. Having double Jamies for sons is a tall task, and one that he is, pulling off expertly. But I don't know if he can withstand Will Sheridan here tonight.
And let's get into this thing. I mean, I'm kind of surprised we're giving this match away on free TV, James.
Absolutely. Leonard Seymour, the officiant. Wait a minute. Sheridan.
Will, he does not want any part of this. He's electing to get counted out, I believe.
Wait a minute. You see Mikey Young coming back out. You see Jacob Clark.
He's
cutting him off
cornered.
at the pass. Going to the other side, perhaps. Wait.
Will wants out.
Alex Clark.
Will knows that he's surrounded.
Wait a minute. It's
Cassidy
Clark.
This is...
What the hell is happening here?
James, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is a Clark.
What the hell?
Jamie Clark is here. Oh my God, is that a chair wrapped in barbed wire?
He's got the chair wrapped in barbed wire. Turnabout is fair play. You see him battered and bruised from Will Sheridan doing the same thing. 585.
And Jamie sliding to the outside. Jamie was put in a coma by Will Sheridan, and now a clothesline right on to that barbed wire chair. How many of these does he have? From Jamie Clark. Good God almighty, this is brutal.
This is not a wrestling match. This is a fight to the death.
The fact that this is taking place inside of a wrestling ring is coincidence at best. Jamie Clark would have done this in a Greg's. He would have done this in a parking lot. He would have done this at the gates of hell. Jamie Clark sends a message to Will Sheridan, and if you haven't pre-ordered Blaze of Glory yet, then you are making a mistake.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, Blaze of Glory is going to be the biggest event of the season, the biggest matches, the biggest rivalries, all coming to a head on the biggest event in professional wrestling. That has been all for Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. I have been James Randall for Carly Mars. Join us in 2 weeks for Blaze of Glory, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more CPW.